Welcome back, 4twins podcast.
Yo.
I'm Parker.
I'm Emmett.
Jack.
Dan.
Today we're going to be talking about movies. Talking about movies and drinking Coronas.
Cheers.
Started off, we'll talk a little bit about a little app that we use for our movies.
Yeah.
This is not a paid advertisement, but it could be if you want it to.
This is a Joe Rogan.
Letterboxd, if you're listening.
Word.
Yeah, we all use an app called Letterboxd. You guys can download it if you want. Look us up, follow us. Basically what it is you can find movies on there, rate and review them, read other people's reviews, find the whole cast and crew for every movie.
And most importantly, you get to have fun.
Yeah, that's the main goal here.
The main focus.
We have fun. All of us have it. Lots of our friends have it. We all use it. So if you guys want to download it.
Kind of just nice to do it after you see a new movie.
Yeah, and it's nice because then you have like a record of stuff that you've watched and what you thought about that.
And what you want to see.
And what you want to see too. Yeah, there's a good watch list feature which
Yeah.
I have been using a bunch.
It can.
Let's chop that lime up and get some
but
some
we'll
Ronas
take,
for the boys.
We'll post our
Hell
Letterboxd
yes.
accounts at the end of the video,
Sorry,
right?
let's
Yeah.
just dab you up there.
And end of the video, right? We're gonna post the names.
Yeah, we'll do that.
So you guys can follow us. If you don't have it, download it. It's fun. If you like movies and you like to, I don't know, just keep track of your movie list. It's nice to have. So just have in the
and
back
spread the
pocket,
word.
literally.
Spread the word to friends.
Yeah,
Most
so
important.
All right.
today
And family.
Haha.
we're going to be talking about some movies from last year, some Oscar movies, some movies that didn't even get mentioned at the Oscars, which is actually most of them, I feel
Yeah,
like, because
definitely
we
most of
were
them.
mildly disappointed in the Oscars this year.
Yeah,
I
but
think once again, Oscars just kind of as Grammys.
Yeah, it's
Same kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yes,
Just
sir.
popularity
it's
contest.
Hollywood.
it's a
I wouldn't
popularity
say we
contest.
agree, but definitely some choices from the Oscars that we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what though? 2017 was pretty good.
Yeah,
year for the
2017
No
Oscars.
joke.
good.
I think this 2018 Oscars was the most like Hollywood version of like
Yeah.
the
That's what-
Oscars
exactly.
that could ever exist. Like
Yeah, for
you got to
sure.
think about like Moonlight won last year, and
No, that was in 2016, man.
well then who won last?
Yeah.
Sorry.
2016 was a great year as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
Shape
I'm
of
thinking
Water
Shape
was
of
last
Water
year.
won last year. That was
Yeah.
That won Best Picture.
yeah, that was a little iffy.
Okay, anyways, we're getting off track already. We're I think we're gonna start it off with two movies that didn't really get a lot of buzz. Well, one of them kind of, the other one also kind of, but not from the mainstream point of view.
Yeah.
Which do we want to do first? Do we want to start happy or sad?
I think.
Really here?
So we're going to start with some sadness here.
Yeah. So this movie, pretty fucked up, honestly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we need some limes.
Yes.
Dan, you
Keep
Daniel
Um,
cut these very well. You know,
Yeah.
it's always nice when you can just
Thanks,
slide
boys.
the
Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
lime right in.
Take a lime. Please.
So yeah, you were never really here with Joaquin
Phoenix. And
Love that
honestly, I
name.
think that's the only notable name in there. Like there's obviously the other actress, like the. Well, the director's
lime
Lynn
juice all
Ramsey.
over
And
my computer.
actually, okay, before.
Really?
Can you
Me and
can you
Parker,
can
we
you open
also
this for
just
me,
watched
actually?
this last night, so this is like fresh in our minds.
Yeah, no, this is fresh in all of our minds actually. Well,
Yeah.
Emmett was the one who saw it probably
Least recent.
the least recent. Like I saw it
Yeah.
2 days ago. Jack and Parker both saw the movie last
Yesterday.
night. So it's fresh in
Yeah.
all of our minds. Yeah, straight up, it's fucked. It's pretty crazy.
It's a really dark exploration into Joaquin Phoenix's character's mind, who honestly, obviously, like talking about PTSD, like he is a war veteran.
Yeah,
He's
I
a
don't-
war
they,
vet.
they don't really get into that though, which is
They
kinda
don't, but
cool.
you can kind of there's the one scene where
There's
it kind
the
of
one
makes sense because it's him obviously with
Yeah.
that guy and the
Yeah.
kid shoots the other
Mhm.
kid.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, I thought that was so perfectly done. I just want to kind of.
Well, yeah, like remember
Yeah.
the
Well,
first.
Before
the
we get
first-
into this, do you guys want to say what it's about? Like, I don't.
Yeah, I
think
guess
anyone's-
we'll explain
yeah,
it. Yeah,
basically what the movie's
Yeah.
about is
Parker, go for it,
Joaquin
bud.
Phoenix plays an ex-war veteran who basically like saves girls who have been kidnapped in
Mhm.
a
The sex.
brutal,
Heavy-
like
heavy
a
subject.
super
it's
brutal
like
way.
an
Yeah.
It's a heavy movie.
he's basically like not like working in like sex
Trade.
trafficking.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
but
he's
it's
working
for
against
underage
it.
girls.
Yeah.
Like what he tries to do is he tries to
But the
basically save 'em
director,
and like save him from kidnapping. And
In a
try to,
way, it's kind of like not a hero movie, but he's definitely, you know what I mean?
he
Like, he's got
definitely
an
is a
aspect
type of
that, so-
hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
No,
yeah,
yeah.
no, 100%,
Exactly.
man.
But
I
he also
agree.
has like definitely a problem with killing people because he just
Mhm.
kills
Yeah.
random
He's so
civilians
that's
too.
the thing about the movie, man, is
He's-
that it's basically like it just comes down to the title. Like you were never really here. Like it's almost like he's not even like really living in his own body because he's so
His
like
mind is
he's
so, like,
he's
in
so
other
controlled by
places.
like violence
and
like,
by his like past.
and by his
yeah.
past, yeah, because he's so like he's just messed up.
But
like,
first
in the head,
off-
like not in like a bad way, because he does it for good, but he's so controlled by trying to like save these girls, right? Like he's so like, but it all comes down, or sorry,
Well,
it
it's
all
just
comes from
seeing things that he's seen. It'd be
yeah,
fucked
it all
up.
comes from things that he's seen, and it just kind of takes over his body,
Yeah.
and his mind.
Ooh. Hello.
And it's kind of like that's what I'm saying. But the way the movie, like I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but I wrote in my Letterboxd review if you guys want to check that out. But
Follow your boy.
Lynn Ramsey.
That didn't work.
Can I
No,
get
it
an F?
Lynn Ramsey is actually like the way I
Oh, sick,
because her like I'm not sure if you guys realize, but in the movie her directing style like is so different. It's literally like there are so many shots in the movie like framing choices that you're just like
Yeah,
it looks nice, but you're like trying to trying to figure out like
well,
what does that mean?
yeah.
Like,
I think we all kind of talked about this. How like
God damn.
she's a squirter. Sorry, that was awful.
this is PG-14, by the way.
Shut the fuck up.
I don't even remember what I was gonna say.
Edit that
You, Emmett, you go.
Well, I was just gonna say is that like the thing I love about that movie is that you're always trying to find out kind of like what's up next, because they always show kind of like
it leads you along very
Exactly,
It leads
like,
you
it
along
leads you
very
It's a
well.
smooth.
for example
story.
that scene where it shows
Score is
he
also
witnesses
Oh, dude, we'll get
that
into
kid
that
when he was in
after.
the war get shot. Is that you constantly see that scene of his foot
the foot
like yeah like exactly, and
Yeah.
you're wondering what that is, right? But that just shows that
You
was
get that
probably
phone,
such
boy.
a like profound moment in his
Experience for
life
him,
that
yeah.
he always sees that like that event of like his foot
Yeah.
basically like grazing the sand because
Yeah.
he's like helpless, you know.
Yeah, a super
Sorry, no.
a
Go.
super like we were already talking about this. Like it just flows very well.
Mm-hmm.
Like it kind of leads the story along. That was right in the mic.
Dude.
Um
Dude.
also I think we
Chill the fuck
we
out,
both-
buddy.
we
Sorry.
both discussed this, like how it's like there's not a ton of dialogue in the film.
No.
Dude,
It's not a very dialogue.
but that's what I'm saying though is
Well, I don't know if
Am
anyone
I-
heard before. The score is probably
No, okay, we'll
almost
talk-
adds-
no.
almost is like another character because it's
we'll get into
it
the
is.
score, dude. But what I was saying though is that the movie almost has like intentional like mumbly dialogue. Like Walking Phoenix fucking mumbles.
Not sorry, spoilers.
When
but
he kills-
that guy, you can't even.
You
fucking
can't
understand
even
what he's
hear him.
saying.
You
No.
can't even hear him. And the thing is though is that dude,
I turned it up. I went back and I turned it up, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
I did the exact same thing on my first viewing, dude.
when his like lip is like super swollen up here.
It's
Those
when
two
he
guys are in his house, and
it-
that guy's on the floor, and he's like, "Where are you going?" And then like,
it's when he comes back. It's when he comes back into his house, and then he finds out
Yeah.
that they killed those two guys who were. Okay, well we can't spoil anything, but those two guys that are in his house. Okay, Matt, I was just gonna do another huge spoiler there. Okay, sorry, I'm getting way too carried away. Okay, when he comes back to the house and he finds those guys, and he shoots them. Do you remember that scene, Parker,
Yeah.
where he shoots the guy and
Yeah.
he's like, "Yeah, like where are you going?" And like
Yeah.
he's just mumbling. You can't hear what he's saying. But dude, like
But then
I watched a video on Lynn Ramsey, just just kind of on her filmmaking, and dude, she does that intentionally. Like she focuses just on like very small details and like
Yeah.
shots and framing, and it's honestly like it's awesome to see,
Yeah.
man. Like I was just like
it almost
So
had a Denny,
invested.
Denny Villeneuve feel to it in a way.
a lot of
Yeah.
Denis Villeneuve, like
Just,
very
just the look
smooth
of it.
shots, but man,
You don't
it's
that I
like
said that?
oh
No.
man, yeah, dude, the movie's unreal, dude.
Yeah.
Like, jeez,
Um,
it's like such a dark movie, man, but it's so like some of the shots, man, are just like
it, like
sick.
as a
There's
as a,
so
as a
people
film,
out there.
like
Nice.
as a film, objectively, like stay like storyline aside and like theme aside, like the actual film itself is
It looks really good.
It looks really good.
Looks so
The
nice.
score, like
The score
Johnny
is-
said,
it's
the score is
like-
unreal.
We'll start. Yeah,
The
you guys
score's
want to
like
kind of get
the
into the
score's
score
like
now.
unsettling. Like it
Who's-
almost adds a
It's scary.
creepiness
It's
to it that you
thrilling.
need
It's
to-
thrilling.
Who's
It's
the score
jarring.
by
It
again, Dan?
keeps you.
James something or
It's
I can probably-
somebody look it up.
I can
But,
double check.
I
it's
really
the same guy that made the score for The Master, which is another movie with Joaquin Phoenix. But
I haven't seen it, but it's supposed to be fantastic.
yeah.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
yeah,
Yeah.
but also
Shout out to him, Jack.
Sure.
Real quick.
But also, he did the score for Phantom Thread, which was the one
Another
with Daniel
Paul Thomas
Day-Lewis, which was
Anderson.
also
Johnny Greenwood is his
Johnny
name.
Greenwood, yeah. And this score is so weird. It's like kind of like electro synthy, but also has like
It
Dude,
kind of
like the
adds to the
first-
subject
it
matter of
does.
how
You remember
creepy
from
the
the
subject matter is.
Remember,
Yeah.
you know
remember
what I
when the
mean?
first
Well-
scene, like he's like, he sees the photo of that girl
Yeah,
and he burns it,
that-
and then he takes the Holy Bible and smashes
Yeah.
it or whatever. Very symbolic, by the way. I don't know
Yeah,
if
for
you guys
sure.
want to get in that, but yeah, okay. Anyways, and then right when he
Little bit
starts
of heaven,
walking
little
out of
bit
the
of hell.
hotel, it's at like literally
That,
that,
like, it's
music
like-
coming. It's like it's literally
It's like really
a
like
jarring
aggressive,
It's like almost
Yeah.
like it could be like a jazz rap beat almost. Like
Also,
the
I just want to
background.
say,
but it's like so offbeat.
It
yeah.
is
the
so
thing,
offbeat,
yeah.
and it's just like, man, it's like, okay, now you're getting kind of a sense of what's going on. You're like, this is kind of going to be like thrilling almost. And
it adds intensity to them to
it
the
does,
film,
and it's
for real.
literally the first scene of the movie.
But that's
Yeah.
what's a bet. Like honestly, for movies, like the score is probably arguably one of the most important parts of it because like that just adds.
it does. It brings
But
well,
it adds
one.
the
It brings
emotion and
emotion.
everything
Yeah.
to it. Yeah, exactly.
For one, I mean, like this is a very rare example, but No Country for Old Men, no score.
Exactly.
Movie.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
True. That's
Like
true.
like a
Exactly.
score obviously is a very important part.
and
to
there's
a
not a
film.
lot of dialogue in No Country for Old Men.
No, and it's that same kind of
but it's
style.
almost
It's
the
that same style of
silence-
film too,
It's almost
right?
the
Like,
silence that adds to the suspense, which
Yeah.
is like it can go
man,
either
that
way.
was
That's a
deep.
good
That was
point,
deep.
actually.
That was deep.
Thanks.
What'd you say? I zoned
Soft
out.
hands. I was just saying that the silence
Zoned
in
out
No
mid
Country,
podcast.
the silence in No Country for Old Men kind of adds to the suspense of that film. Almost
100%,
as a score. It
yeah.
almost acts as a score by having
Yeah.
no score. That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. Is there anything else you want to add about?
All I wanted to
Um,
say though, I've seen quite a few Joaquin Phoenix movies this year. I'd never seen Her. I got to watch Her this year, which is a great
Beautiful
movie.
movie.
Shout out to Spike Jonze. And
shout out, baby.
First shout out of the day.
Somebody
start
start.
Yeah, absolutely.
Somebody start a shout out counter. Actually, it'll be up in the corner.
Yeah,
absolutely.
tallies.
But anyways, saw that
Tally
and
up.
I saw You Won't Get Far on Foot, which is a good movie. Or Don't Worry, He Won't Get Far on Foot. Sorry, which is a
that's
good
with
movie as
Jonah,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jonah's really cool in that as
Should've
well.
got first of all, should have got
100%.
nominated for that movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unreal.
Anyways, all I wanted to say though is that Joaquin is a pretty versatile actor, and he can actually after seeing Her, and that's a kind of a role where he's a little more like shy, kind of like almost like I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say like cute type shit, but like you care about him in a way that
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
not like
Yeah,
It's not a normal character.
I didn't
for him.
expect him to pull off being a disturbed veteran who's gonna fucking go around killing child molesters and
But
shit. But
that's a
being
good- that's a
damned
good-
if
that
he
being
pulled it
that's a
off.
good
said,
comparison, yeah.
That's the point.
I'm really excited to see what he's gonna do with the Joker.
With the Joker.
this year, because I actually think that
That was
he's
I was
gonna
gonna
be,
tie into.
Obviously,
'cause
nobody's ever gonna beat Heath Ledger's the Joker, but
Yeah.
Dude,
You never know.
The
There's-
thing
there's
I'm
versions of
the
it.
thing
No
I'm
way.
afraid of is that I honestly think Joaquin is gonna kill it. Because honestly, like
It's just up
throughout
to the
the-
directing, and it's just
the
nothing
directing.
to do with Joaquin.
It's Todd Phillips who's directing, and like I'm not
Hangover
sure if
guy,
he's
old school
directed
guy.
Hangover, and he did.
But to say
War
that though,
Dogs.
Adam McKay, also someone who started off in comedy, making movies like Step Brothers and what do you call it, the other guys and stuff.
Yeah,
And now he's doing things like
The Big Short.
The Big Short,
which is
and
an
Vice or whatever,
unreal
which evolves.
movie.
So I don't want to slander Todd Phillips. Like who knows? He could make a
Yeah.
really good
He
movie.
could pull it off. Yeah.
Well,
But
He's
it's
also announced he's
definitely-
doing a Hulk Hogan thing as well. I read that. He's
Oh,
directing
with,
like a
Chris-
biop.
with
Yeah,
Chris
so, I
Hemsworth,
don't know.
yeah.
Maybe they're gearing him up to
Well,
be one of those
he,
directors who does bigger shit like that. But like,
Did you
who
guys
knows?
mention he did Old School as well?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
nice.
that.
Which is a hilarious
Yeah.
movie, but like still like.
But that's what I mean is that if you can have a funny movie with funny dialogue, so it could
And
also
comedy is one of the hardest things to
It-
do for real.
exactly.
Yeah,
So if you can
make
have
an
a-
actual funny
if you can have a
movie.
funny script, I don't know if he wrote
and how in
directed
charge
it,
of
but
he yeah exactly like how in charge of he is that like he
Well,
just
the
is
guy
the director.
also
Yeah.
a fun fact
Not
for you guys,
necessarily
the guy
choosing.
who is writing the Joker movie wrote or was one of the main writers of The Fighter.
That's,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a
Which
good
is an
start, man.
unreal
And
movie.
you always want to have
Unreal
a good
movie.
screenplay writer for
100%, yeah. Like
Exactly.
The Fighter is
It's
beautifully
like,
written, but
we're not really I personally don't really get into superhero movies, but I can remember when the Suicide Squad trailer dropped and we're all like, man, like I hope this is fucking cool. Like that'd be cool to see.
Yeah.
Whatever.
yeah,
no, do we?
It was a
we don't
different-
even say anything about that.
yeah.
But
yeah.
you just need a good screenwriter. and hopefully it works out. But all I wanted to finish was my point that Joaquin can really dive into
can kill
roles. And
it.
like I said, I didn't expect him to pull something off like that, and I was actually like fucking scared of him.
But dude,
Especially at
Yeah.
some point when he
honestly,
get those drugs, and that guy's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Yo, wait up a sec," and then he fucking pops him. And he's like, "Don't fucking
he's like, don't make me
wait."
late. Like, okay, first of all, let's just talk
I
about
was
the
scared of him,
scene.
man.
The scene where he buries his mom in the lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I cried during that scene.
shot
man.
so well.
It's
Dude,
dude,
it's beautiful,
it
man.
is.
Like the music in the background, man. But it's like
that's what I was just gonna say is that the music.
the
makes that
music
scene.
is just
Yeah.
like so good, man.
Also-
I don't think it's even a part of Johnny Greenwood's
Yeah, it
score.
isn't.
It's like it's
No,
own song.
But like
Yeah.
the thing is like the
Really
thing that
good.
I really liked about the
That's a great
score
scene.
in general is how it flipped from like music that was being composed for the movie, and then they used the old school songs throughout, like
Yeah.
when he was with that guy in the kitchen.
That should
Yeah.
creep me
At the
out
beginning.
though.
Like that's what's it's kind of like that
That's
like
the point of it.
Nuketown Call of Duty
Yeah,
vibe.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you do get that because it's like it's such a unsettling
That was
movie.
the
he's
worst
going into
reference ever.
the
Nuketown
last-
Call of Duty, but like
I don't want to give away
but
too many
people know
spoilers,
what
but
you-
when he
like,
goes to the
eerily,
last
like-
guy's house and it's that music again,
eerily
it's like
happy.
he's taken out. And I also liked in the last scene when he goes to like kill that final guy or whatever, basically, and he's like takes out the guards, but you don't see him taking out, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's all
it just
on
cuts and
camera.
then they're
fo-
already
Yeah.
dead.
It's
and
on like
that's
on the
it.
camera
Yeah.
footage. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
honestly,
I
I don't
think
want to
that
see that
brings
shit, man.
such a
He's
weird-
fucking killing guys with a hammer. Like it'd probably be pretty
But
disgusting.
but like the reason why he has that hammer, dude, is because his dad was the one who started using the hammer. Not gonna spoil anything, but like
Yeah.
that's
Well, you kind of
like,
did.
dude.
but
Remember the shot where he
Gained a
literally
shit ton
goes
of weight
into
for that movie as
the
well.
what's that?
He looked like he gained a shit ton of weight. For that
Yeah,
movie as
well, he's like
he's big.
hefty,
Dude, he's
man.
burly.
Like,
yeah.
he's not like
Shout out Burly
jacked.
Boy Entertainment. You know who you are.
Burly
Exactly.
boy.
Yeah.
Anyways, what was I gonna
That
say
was
Trade secret.
yeah, dude. I think the movie's it's also about like the relationship between him and his mom too.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a
when you-
lot of very underlying. Like there's a lot of underlying.
there's a lot
themes
of-
in it.
'cause
Obviously, a main
there's-
theme is suicide. So
It is, man, but it's also like
Yeah.
kind of how to
We'll be
yeah
fine.
how to deal with
yeah,
like almost like PTSD,
Yeah.
man. Like
Yeah.
you get that shot where because he also worked for the FBI
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah.
You get that
There was
one small
one
shot.
small
shot.
But, you get that
Sorry.
small. It's all good, but you get that small shot of him like
Yeah.
opening up that back truck, and it's like
Yeah.
all the
No,
girls
but
in the back,
that's-
which
That
is like.
scene a little bit
is-
confused me with the Asian girls, but then I got it after.
But you start to
Yeah.
understand
'Cause it's
why,
like
yeah.
When
But-
he just
but-
looked at the girls' mouths in the truck and they're all open. Then he
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that just
Because
shows
he's
that.
showing that correlation between.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, little intermission there, but
yeah.
okay, we're back.
We dragged on with that for a while. Anyways,
But
great.
yeah,
movie.
we'll sum it up here. You were never really here, Lynn Ramsey. Honestly, personally, it's my favorite movie of 2018.
Oh,
very
really?
What's that?
Interesting.
Yes, I didn't say that yet, but very interesting movie. It's dark, but I think it explores like a lot of very
Yeah.
relevant
Personal-
like, themes now, very
personal
personal
issues.
themes. But yeah, it's a beautifully shot movie. That's all I can say for like
Yeah.
a very unsettling tone. But
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
It's a
I
good
got
movie, worth the watch.
Yeah.
it's a good
Definitely
movie.
worth
So
the
yeah,
watch.
I
Not
got
long either.
yeah
We're,
good reviews.
uh,
I got 80. Sorry, you said 89, right?
Yeah.
89% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
Yeah.
Also, you know, I just wanted to quickly say I think
Sure.
we all kind of look at Rotten Tomatoes for scores, but it's a good
It's a
kind of
good it's a
reference
good-
point
it is
because
a
there's so
great
many
reference.
different critics who give their
Yeah.
opinion on it. So like some people are
Also-
like, you know, form your own opinions, and I agree with that.
Yeah.
But
that's
you just gotta
where-
see this stuff. But it's, you know, I'll be more inclined to go see a movie if it did well on that site, just because
Yeah.
there's so many different people giving their
Yeah.
Yeah,
opinions.
different
Same
opinions,
thing with
but-
like honestly, I based a lot of movies off of Letterboxd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Same
absolutely.
thing.
I think Letterboxd is more convenient just because it's not even really critics. Like it's people just like
people,
you and me,
which is nice
that just
because-
love movies.
yeah.
And you get a real
Yeah.
personal sense because critics they can be very biased, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
we
Sometimes
We
I
don't have to
try
get
to
into
But
that
like
right
also
away,
yeah.
yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anyways, we're gonna move on
Move
to
on, yeah.
Next film.
another movie that didn't really get a ton of award buzz, but by far my favorite movie of the year. I know it was.
It's probably one of all of our
Yeah,
favorites.
it's definitely one
Definitely
of our
top
favorite
five,
movies.
definitely
But
top five.
that is mid '90s, directed by Jonah Hill.
Yep.
Written and directed by
Written
Jonah
and
Hill.
directed by Jonah
Beautifully
Hill.
written.
I don't know. We all went to see it together actually,
Mhm.
which
Yeah.
was a really fun
Yeah, I
experience.
actually
We went
didn't
with.
really realize that.
It was us plus like a couple other guys. that
Yeah.
went
a
to
couple
go
of
see
our
it.
other buddies.
Shout out to Laker. Shout out to
Matt came.
Matt
no,
came.
Did Matt come?
yeah,
No, it was
Matt-
Danny.
Matt was
no,
with us.
no. Danny came.
Danny
came, not
came.
Matt.
Okay, shout out
Sorry,
to
Matt. No, fuck you, Matt.
Yeah, fuck you, Matt. Staying Aussie, bud.
Quick little side trip into our personal lives.
Yeah. Anyways,
That was
I don't know where you want to start with that.
Well,
This movie,
what did you like the most?
we're gonna.
out
Well,
of it, Parker?
what I'll
Can I
say.
say what I wanted to say before? Just
Yeah,
to like,
you go, Jack.
has nothing to do with. Then I'll let you go. All I wanted to say.
Don't know why I did that.
Wasn't even that funny. Sorry. Totally threw me off. All I wanted to say was that I think a lot of people that haven't seen this movie, you know, they look at it and it's cool. It's got some professional skateboarders in it, Nickel Smith and stuff from Supreme and from Fucking Awesome. And I think that a lot of people make
fucking
this.
awesome.
And I think a lot of people make
Fucking
assumptions
awesome.
that like people just like that movie because it deals with skateboarding, and that's something that's obviously popular throughout like street culture and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But you know, it could have been anything. That's the point of this
Yeah.
movie. You gotta honestly see it. It was really well written by Jonah, and it could have been about anything. And that's kind of the point. It's cool.
It
It's
is-
something that we're
that's
all
the-
into.
yeah,
and that we
that's
grew
the-
up
Yeah.
That's the.
having a part of our lives. I was a
Yeah.
horrible skateboarder growing up, but I was hanging out with these kids when we were growing up. So
I still
they were
am a
into it
horrible
and-
skateboarder.
exactly, so. But like it's
Um,
just
I was
that
a
wasn't the
horrible,
that wasn't
currently
the
is
point
still
of
a
the, that
horrible
wasn't the point of the movie. It wasn't to draw any more
Whoa.
attention to it, to like get it to be popular or whatever is all I was trying to say. It's a great movie. That just happens to be what Jonah Hill was into
Yeah.
as a kid, and it's kind of like
Well,
loosely
yeah.
based on his
what I was
personal
gonna
life.
say is like
Yeah. What do you like about it, Parker?
what I loved about it is obviously
Sorry, I
that's
just wanted to mention.
that's
No, that's
literally
fine.
like what
Thank
that
you,
movie is
Jack.
about is like the culture that we're all associated with.
Yeah.
Hip hop, skateboarding, fashion, you could even say
Yeah.
like kind of like it is
Uh,
a pop culture
you get your
film, I would
taste
say
from-
that. It is
exactly,
like
yeah.
that's exactly where we get all of our taste. So like honestly, fuck you to anybody who says that we only like that movie because it's part of our culture, but that's exactly why we like
just
it. So,
adds
like,
to it. Just
It
adds
just adds to it.
But the thing
Exactly.
is, though, it's also a very personal story to Jonah
It
Hill
is.
too, and you can tell.
And you can
Yeah.
tell that there's a lot of emotion in that film.
Yeah.
It is, yeah,
Yeah.
there is a lot.
I
of,
think
like,
it really
the
got-
relationship with his mom and the relationship with his brother too. Like
Right.
honestly,
Hey,
the
Yeah, go
What'd you
ahead.
say?
No, I'm just- go ahead.
Getting a little emotional here, boys. But no, the relationship like with his brother, Lucas Hedges, who was also like we needed way more Lucas Hedges in that movie, but I think
Lucas Hedges having a great year. He's been having a great couple of years. He's been on
don't
a
get
lot of
sidetracked
stuff.
now, bud.
Yeah.
I love Lucas
Jack,
Hedges.
shut your mouth.
Jack, do you really love him?
No.
Good actor. Yeah.
Would you give
But-
him
Yeah, the relationship with his brother, I think, like, really hit me home.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
that's what got
Yeah.
me because you can. That's actually what I want to
I
explain.
think it's. Yeah,
I think that-
don't
is
know.
think
that
that's
you
for
can
sure.
tell that his older brother, like he loves Stevie, like his
Mhm.
little
Before you
brother.
say it, why don't you explain what it's about? I don't think we talked about it again.
Okay, well, Stevie's the main character. And okay, well, I guess what I think about is that I think Stevie's just trying like so hard to kind of find himself in the world.
Mhm. It's
You
just
wanna
like it's a
explain
coming
that?
of
Just a part
age
of growing
film.
Yeah,
up.
coming of age, and it's funny. The first song actually I think is called. Oh, I know, I forget what it is, but the score though, oh my gosh, is like it's works
It's a
so
short-
beautifully.
Once again, scored by Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross.
Social
two of
Network.
the best. Yeah, I did Social Network. Probably one of the best scores of all time.
Thank you-
Sorry,
thank
I'm
you-
not
thank you,
supposed to
Jack.
talk about it, but
No,
Shout
thank
out.
you, Jack.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, score
Shout
works
out.
perfectly. But no, it's just
has a
and-
boner for Social Network?
yeah, and
Trent
so
Reznor and
I
Atticus
think
something,
yeah,
Ross.
Stevie just wants to he wants to skateboard because like that's the
Well,
thing
I
is
think
that
I think skateboarding is just the
he must be what, like
avenue
12
that he
too?
finds his identity.
Yeah,
through, like,
exactly.
It is, it's-
yeah.
He's like
Exactly.
12.
But it's
what
not
is he? He's
just
like 12, 13.
yeah.
It's kind of the point where he's like he doesn't want to be goofing around like doing kid
Yeah.
stuff. He
Yeah.
But
kinda
dude,
wants
he's
to-
at like,
Yeah.
but not gonna lie though, is that like he's just he's at that age where he's like trying to find
who he wants
kind
to
of
be.
who he
Yeah.
is and like kind of that friend group to escape his home.
But
life
it's so-
that he's
Yeah.
obviously not having.
Yeah.
It's not like really.
It's one
a
of
good
those
home
things
life.
where
like,
you
it's
have
his
so
mom-
much respect for your brother, but you don't like your brother. Like
Yeah.
you have a
No,
shitty relationship.
exactly.
Wait,
So-
are we getting personal in here?
yeah, no, but no, that no,
But no,
seriously
that's
though,
what I'm
is
saying,
that
though.
like it's like again what Park was saying that it's like there is skateboarding in it, but it's so much more personal than that. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
not even really what we're gonna talk about. I don't think.
yeah, like um
just really well written.
yeah, well no, I was gonna say something about fucking keep getting interrupted here.
Sorry.
I don't think you were interrupted once, bud.
No, I was gonna say something about well yeah, just like the story and that Stevie wants to skateboard, but the way it's told is so true though because he wants to kind of impress like the older guys in the
When you
group,
see
Yeah.
older
right?
people doing
There's-
anything,
there's
so
that
many-
you find cool.
There's
Yeah.
so
You
many
wanna be part of it,
relatable
man.
moments in
Yeah,
the video
Yeah.
too.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can just
The
tell
video.
that like that just
Yeah.
makes him so happy because he actually feels
Yeah.
like he has a purpose.
Well,
in
Yeah.
his
dude, it's just
life.
for with anyone. You get the approval of someone a lot older than you.
Yeah,
when you're
you-
young,
Yeah.
like when you're like 13,
It doesn't
14.
matter if they're related to you or
Yeah.
not. Like you impress somebody that's older than you. Like
It's a good
that's
feeling.
a good
Yeah.
feeling.
Yeah, it's just
And-
Yeah.
And especially at that age, right?
Yeah.
Like you're all about like trying to impress.
Yeah.
Right? Like you're at that age because you don't know where you are, so it's
Yeah.
like you're trying so many of these.
And
new
then-
And I
things.
also I just want to comment. What's the other character's name that's like almost the same age as?
Yeah, that's
Ruben.
Ruben. Yeah.
Ruben.
Who's kind of
Dude,
like
the camaraderie between them is
Yeah.
so funny.
So
Yeah.
true though.
Yeah.
It is because like
Because he's like the youngest. you know,
Yeah.
it's like when
because
the
they're
new
kind
kid
of
comes
they're
in,
both
the new
battling
kid
for
comes
the
in,
and they,
yeah.
they like Sunny or sorry, not Sunny. They like
that's his real
Phoebe
name.
more than him.
they're trying to they're trying to battle for the position,
Yeah.
battle
for
the
like,
favorite.
yeah, the
young
favorite
kid
like
kinda.
youngest kid.
Yeah.
in the
It's like
group,
Jonah
right?
said in some interviews. It's kind of like what do you call it, like an Animal Kingdom type story.
Yeah.
He's trying to rise to the
exactly.
top.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point.
And they
But,
all look up to the older guys, and every
Yeah.
single one of them, even the older guys, they all look up to
Nikel.
Nikel's name
Yeah.
in the movie.
I don't
Mhm.
even remember what his.
It's Ray.
Is it Ray?
Yeah,
It's
Ray.
Ray.
They
Yeah.
all look up to Ray. So
Ray.
That's-
Yeah.
I think that's another super interesting thing that like people outside of the skateboarding culture can respect is that these people are not actors. Like these are
Yeah.
actual skateboarders that like
Yeah.
who honestly pulled off excellent roles in
Yeah.
the film. Like I
think
could-
they're just being
I think
themselves.
the
it's
casting
genuine.
was
It's
the casting was all done by Jonah Hill,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
and I think it was perfect. Like I don't think I could see anybody else playing those roles, skater or actor.
I mean, honestly,
Mhm.
like Lucas is an actor, but like
And the
Yeah,
mom
but
too.
not
but
those are
this-
guys
like
that are
Yeah.
skateboarders. Those are the
skateboarders,
main
yeah.
characters.
The main
Yeah.
characters are all people.
Yeah,
who've
like
never
that main
acted
group.
before.
Yeah.
So
And
it's like
sorry,
you get a
what's
real
what's
sense
fourth
of this-
fourth
of
sorry
skateboarding.
fourth grade's name again?
Ryder McLaughlin.
Ryder
Yeah, Ryder
Ryder
McLaughlin.
Ryder
but-
McLaughlin.
Is it
He-
McLaughlin?
McLaughlin.
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 I think so.
I thought it was McLaughlin.
I thought it was
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin.
Okay,
Legal
anyway, I'll
Civ.
just say
and the Legal
Ryder,
Civ
but-
guys helped produce that movie as well, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, 'cause they've
Mike
done
Mike
a couple
Alfred,
short
yeah,
films.
produced
But-
it.
I just want to say like the thing that I loved most about the movie though is I really loved the relationship between Ray and fuck shit.
Yeah.
And because
Censored.
you can tell that like both of them
Fuck
censored.
shit.
both of them they want to be good skateboarders, but you can just see that Ray is kind of growing out of that, and he wants to actually do it professionally, obviously, but
They were kind of. It's almost like they started to do it because they
Well,
wanted to be cool.
it's a very
Sorry, I
like-
totally just cut him off.
it's okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, but I just want to say that
My
no,
bad.
it's
I'm
okay.
learning.
But it's just like fuck shit. You can just tell that he loves to party and he likes to do that, and Ray feels like he's kind of bringing him down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's that scene, like, oh my gosh, it's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie, like probably of all time, is that you can see that Ray's is
Are you
talking
talking about when they're
they're in that like that back
the back,
courtyard.
Yeah, they're
yeah,
having,
in
like,
the
this session
backyard
in the
of
back.
the skate shop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
skate shop, yeah.
Ray is talking to those two
The pro
skaters, which is
skaters. Donovan
Piscopo.
I don't know who
and
the other
dude,
guy is,
but
but
did they actually skate for a girl? I can't remember.
who Donovan Piscopo?
yeah.
No,
Pretty sure Donovan was
Donovan
on Nike
Piscopo's
SB.
on. Yeah, he's on Nike.
Yeah, but-
I don't know. I don't really want to.
But
anything, but-
and you can just see when Ray's talking to them, and then funk shit, like he's drunk and shit, so he like comes up and tries.
Hey,
to,
those
like,
guys
be
respect
funny.
Ray because he's so good.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
but then and you can see that
Their demeanor
Uh,
completely changes
yeah.
when fuck shit comes around
yeah,
and it's like
exactly. But it's Ray though that like you can tell that Ray like that's his best friend, but he
Yeah.
doesn't want to be associated with him.
it's like
because he knows-
embarrassment.
Yeah,
It
because he
is.
knows that that's not the path that he wants to lead
No.
any or that he
Well,
wants to go
just to-
anymore.
First
Well,
Corona
just a quick
officially
thing.
done.
And then dude, there's no there's no
Let's get some,
dialogue.
confetti in here.
It's basically just fuck shit and Ray just staring at each other, and there's like that score in the background, and like you can
Yeah.
just tell, man, that like Ray and him like they're best friends since they were kids, but man, like they're growing up.
He knows that he
And-
needs to outgrow him.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they need to
It's
make
like
it
it's like you said, he's holding them
yeah,
down.
Yeah,
that's like
they
a
need
super
to make a
hard realization. But I
Yeah.
think he finally does realize that
Yeah.
throughout the film,
Well,
obviously with the
yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
being how
Just to
it
speak
is.
to that relationship, if I can,
yeah,
yeah,
you can go.
is just I agree with you. I agree with that scene as well. But one of my favorite scenes as well, just speaking to the relationship between Ray and fuck shit,
him
is
his brother.
is when they're
Jack, stop moving your mic.
sorry, is when they're about to go onto on top of that roof.
Still.
Is about when they're about to go on top of that roof and they're talking. Then he's like, yo, he's talking about how he got his car taken away by his parents or whatever. And then Ray's kind of like, oh, blah blah blah. And he's like, yo, like, I don't want to go to school. I'm not doing well. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, that's not me. Like, trying is like whack or whatever. Then Ray's like, yeah, trying's fucking whack. Like, let's go skate this rail. Be all corny. And then he's like, you can kind of tell he's like, it's almost like he doesn't want to admit that he wants to do what Ray wants to do for some whatever
Weird
reason, like social reason. He just thinks it'll look stupid.
Yeah.
But that's not the case at all. And it's like, I love that scene when he's just like, Ray's just like, yeah, like, let's go skate this gap. Like, I'll be corny, try hard. And then he's like, fuck shit's like, okay.
Yeah.
And it's like, you tell he respects him, but he doesn't want to admit it. Type
I also think like that kind of scene that you're talking about has a lot to do with like passion. Obviously school is not his passion, but like he's okay with trying at skating, like at least a little bit, like even though he's not like going out there and shredding, he's still. But that's the thing that's dope about it. The thing that like anybody who's gonna make it, a living off something that they're like is basically a hobby, like skateboarding's a hobby in a sense. It could be anything, a sport, something you grow up doing. Like anyone who's gonna take it to the pro level, they have such passion for it. It's ridiculous. Yeah, exactly.
And that's Ray. In that movie.
Exactly.
Like you can just tell them. Like, they don't really care what everyone else is doing. They're doing their own thing because they just want to get better, and that's dope.
Dude, to be like, I hate to say this in a corny way, but to be great, man, you got to make sacrifices. And Ray has to has to do that, right?
Yeah, it's like that's a great way to put it. Like he kind of that's the last thing holding.
Exactly, man. And then also,
it's like you don't want to ditch your friends.
Yeah, but that situation of him.
And that ties into how well the fucking movie's written.
Yeah, exactly. See, like,
but but that.
Wait, what do you mean? Elaborate on that. Sorry.
It's just showing that there's situations that you can get into.
Sorry, we
can get into depth in that kind of conversation just based off a few scenes between two relationships, between two characters.
Yeah.
Having a fucking
but like that dilemma between that
dilemma
between Function and Ray, like that ultimately leads to probably the most damaging scene in the movie.
Yeah,
I don't want to
exactly.
spoil it,
We're not gonna.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's what leads to it, So.
Great movie.
And Fox just pissed off about it because he knows he's not as good as Ray as well.
Yeah.
But you also
and
like
I think that's what kind of fuels his.
That's
what fuels the
drugs and drinking
downward
and shit.
spiral.
But
which is Daniel, because we're running out of time. What did you want to? What's your favorite part of the movie?
Well, what's my favorite part of the movie?
Yeah, like what do you love about the movie?
Oh, I don't know. You guys basically described everything. What I was.
Okay.
Can I say something quick?
I'm not gonna.
Yeah, say
before you say anything. I was gonna say is that like one of my favorite parts of the movie is
say something and then we're gonna shit on the movie for
grade.
a couple seconds.
Yeah, we will. But one of my favorite parts of the movie is fourth grade's character, like Ryder.
Ryder McLaughlin. Well, also like
McMuffin.
McMuffin.
McMuffin. Shout out to Superbad.
The hottest girl in the world wants to go with you, and the Hamburglar doesn't want to fuck me. Fuck you. Listen to yourself.
Okay.
Listen to yourself. Fuck you.
Okay.
From again.
She's out of my league.
Yeah.
This is
okay, but yeah. Anyways, fourth grade's character, honestly, is I think he's hilarious.
Yeah. So simple,
and he's so simple, but it's just so sad because he's so dumb, but he's so.
But he's the most creative. He's the most creative one out of the group.
But that's what I'm saying is that he's so himself. Like he's not trying to be someone else. Yeah, and he wants to film, and it's like
I like that. I liked his character as well. Even the scene when Sonny gets in a fight and he's kind of helping him out.
Yeah, exactly. And he I love this scene where it's your favorite scene, Emma, that you were talking about, where Ray's talking to the pro skaters, and then it's that little comparison between him and the contrast between him and
fuck shit.
And then there's that scene where it's Stevie in fourth grade on the couch, and fourth grade's man, should I introduce myself? And then Sonny's and I don't know why, I just I love that scene because he's such a background character, but he's so essential to the story.
We gotta wrap this up. Good movie.
Yeah,
I think we all have nothing but positive things to say. I can't even honestly think about anything negative to say about the movie.
One more thing about the brother relationship.
Yeah, well, there's actually a couple things I want to say.
Okay, well, honestly, go.
Okay, well, I just
wanted
to
honestly, I'll
get into it.
Let me just explain something. Yeah. We're trying to keep this episode under an hour, but I don't think that's going to happen at this rate. So
no, we're going to try. We're still going to try. But let me just make this quick. Is that I was speaking about this in the beginning, before I got interrupted, but. Is that the relationship between Stevie and his older brother, and obviously the older brother and younger brother, especially when they're kind of in their early teens, they're going to be fighting and things like that, but you can just tell that the older brother, he tries to act so cool, but that
He's hurt.
lonely.
He's so
hurting.
lonely.
Yeah,
Exactly.
he's a
He's
hurting
hurting.
character. Yeah.
And he knows that.
That's why he can take it on his little brother.
But, like, that's why,
exactly.
like-
and you know that Stevie is really his only friend.
Yeah,
but he just doesn't want to show that. Right? 'Cause
That's-
he wants to have like this thug persona.
I think
Yeah.
well, I
well,
think the
because
one
it's
scene
embarrassing.
that
I think it's
embarrassing to
slightly embarrassing
to
yeah.
love
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
love your
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 I
brother,
think
yeah.
I think
If you're
the
trying
one
to be-
scene that
If
really
you're trying to be thug, sorry, but like if you're trying to be like thug and like
fuck you.
And that's based off the
Yeah.
music and shit he listens to. And, like,
yeah,
the
it's
air
based off
their
the
English
music.
is
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, yo, like I don't want to show like that I love my brother, but like right when the ending scene with the orange juice and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
it's
Orange
just
That's a great
juice.
written scene as well, because it's almost saying like, you know, the situation, like it's almost like
The
he's letting him know
situation
I
speaks
love
for
you, you're my
itself.
brother, but like that doesn't fix
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? But he's
yeah.
just letting them know.
Well,
He's just
the one
letting them
thing
know,
that I
like,
wanted
yeah.
to say, Kate, let me speak for
Go ahead.
just a second.
Sorry,
I think
Parker.
the one scene that
I
really,
apologize, Parker, for
okay, anyways,
everything.
Daniel, what's up?
Daniel, I accept your apology and I reciprocate my energy. Anyways, Kate, the
I
scene that I wanted to talk
receive it.
about
Okay.
that I think perfectly like encapsulates their relationship is when they're
Great
playing
word.
when they're playing video games together and they're like competing against each other, but you can tell like obviously if you're playing video games together, you have a loving
Little
relationship with
connection.
that person. You
Exactly.
can tell that
Dude,
it's like
that's
Yeah.
Yeah.
a
And
really
then it's
good way
almost
to
like
put
he's
it, Parker.
uncomfortable with that situation. That's why he brings up the
But
phone.
also
it's
it's
funny
the
because like if
subject
you
matter
look
of
at the
their
smirk that whatever Sunburn character,
Yeah.
Sunny's
Sunburn.
character, Sunburn, his character has, he's like, he knows that he's like the shit compared to his brother.
Yeah,
because
I
he has all
know.
these friends and his brother's just like,
And he
the
has,
like,
the
fucking
smokes.
loser,
And it's like
I'm
the-
Exactly.
gonna cut quickly here.
1 second, no, we're not gonna
Okay.
cut yet. We
Okay.
got
We're not gonna
like
cut.
a minute.
He has the
Shut
smokes
up.
like he has like the smokes like hanging out of his pocket too.
Yeah.
Like he's
You
just
fucking
like
smoke now. Don't worry about
he's just
it.
swag.
Yeah,
he's
that's
just swagging out.
exactly that's the line that
Yeah.
I'm talking about.
But dude, that's actually a good thing to point out, dude. Is
Yeah.
that like they're playing video games, so it's supposed to represent like they're
their
competing,
competitive
but
relationship.
it also is
yeah.
a
I didn't even think
camaraderie.
about it like
right?
that. Yeah, it's dope.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I never
well,
thought about it too. That's sweet.
But
But it's also
Damn, the guy on the laptop has some things to say sometimes.
okay, we're gonna have to cut.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
okay.
gonna cut when I say
Can we
we're gonna
wrap
cut.
this? Can we just wrap this up? Can we
Well,
wrap
dude,
it up?
Yeah.
We have 30
Yo.
seconds. We have 30
Okay,
seconds.
yeah, quickly
Okay.
the subject matter of what they're saying. Okay,
Shut
the
up.
subject matter of their conversation when they're talking about their mom is also a little bit about their bond. Like it's kind of a
Yeah.
representation of their bond kind
Yeah.
of revealing itself.
Also, the guy that comes out of the room fucking his mom.
Holy fuck! Shut up! I was fucking waiting for you to interrupt and
Trying to
asshole.
Yeah, things got a little heated during the intermission.
But we got full battery. We charged up.
Okay, we're gonna resume our mid '90s talk. This episode's gonna be way over an
Okay.
hour. Not
No,
way.
because
way,
we are gonna
way.
finish it right here.
How
We'll
way?
cut our shit.
Way.
I had
That
I had two things I wanted to say. I only got through one because this little fucker can't keep his mouth shut.
I'm
My
the little
second
fucker.
thing I was about to say
yeah,
is
this
that
is fucker.
Parker is right. It is like kind of the most cliche moment out of the movie because it's like the most emotional. But the scene with Ray and Sonny, you know, talking about you wouldn't trade your shit for their shit when you look in somebody's closet. It's true. But the fact is that,
It's
you know,
factual.
after they go skateboarding with each other, you know,
They sleep outside.
they sleep outside, right? But it's the song that they put in, and is it called Liquid Swords?
It is Liquid
Yeah,
Swords
Liquid
by
Swords.
Jizza.
Jizza.
Jizz.
And
Great
right at
artist.
it has this little like monologue before the beat comes in and he starts rapping. Is that the kid says this is the moment that everything changes,
Yes.
and that's in the song. But I
This is
feel
the
Jonah
moment
Hill
that
put that
everything
in for a reason because that is the moment that
good.
everything changes. Like
I have
Sonny
another Corona.
had a very monumental moment with Ray,
How many have you had?
and just shows that
Go ahead,
Why?
sorry.
Someone had
these
two
guys.
then.
I,
I fucking quit.
Dan,
There's
Dan,
4 of us,
Dan,
man.
do some
1,
math.
2, 3,
Dan, do
4.
some math.
2 left.
6 minus 4 equals 2. I just took 1, and there's 1 in there.
Yeah.
Fuck you guys. I hate everyone.
For some reason, like I thought there was.
Okay, too much Corona talk.
For a second, I thought there was 3 of us.
Okay.
And that's foreshadowing.
done.
'Cause next
Great
episode
movie,
there's gonna be
Jonah Hill.
3 of us.
Thank you. We're very excited to see, you know, so many other movies that you're gonna come out with. Hopefully,
Okay,
next movie. Let's fucking go.
Jonah Hill, keep grinding, baby.
okay, I guess we're done with that.
Okay.
Okay,
We are.
we're
Good
gonna
movie,
talk.
though.
We're gonna talk a little bit negatively about a movie that got a lot of.
And we're not gonna speak
press
name. We're gonna
this year.
shit on this.
We're
movie.
actually gonna pull down our pants, take a humongous dookie on this movie, and that movie is Bohemian
I don't know
Rhapsody.
about all that.
Yeah.
Bohemian.
Bohemian.
Bohemian Rhapsody,
we all
directed by like 6 different fucking directors. Like
Yeah.
3 people got fired.
The
No,
worst
it's like 2
reviewed
directors.
movie in like 40 years to win Best Picture at Golden Globes.
yeah, like
That just shows you right there. Like when a director gets fired, like midway through the movie,
through a
you
project,
think
why
that's
don't
going to be
you-
the best picture?
Yeah,
Keith, in
and
my
also there was
opinion-
allegations. Sorry,
there was a lot of allegations. In my opinion, if you fire a director halfway through a movie, start over. Like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Or don't
It's-
even submit your
Yeah.
movie to the Oscars.
Or
'cause
honestly,
maybe
don't even
you
make
might
the
win
movie.
Best Picture. Unfortunately,
Just send
Who
a
wants to
couple
start with
clips
this?
of Rami.
Do you want?
Rami?
We want to talk about what it's about, and we'll go.
yeah.
Okay, Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm sure everyone knows it's about
Yeah.
the story of Freddie Mercury from Queen. Obviously,
Very
like
iconic
very
individual.
like super iconic. One of the most iconic rock groups, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
of like
A le-
the
literally a
20th
legend.
century. Like literally a legend. The worst portrayal of his life and the band
yeah.
that
Well, I
could
don't
have been
wanna
done.
Yeah,
I'm probably
Okay.
gonna. I
You wanna
fucking-
back it up?
Really, I don't like this movie at all. But
'Kay,
Rami Malek
Rami
didn't do
Malek-
a bad job.
no,
He didn't do a bad
great
job.
and that's why he won Best
Yeah,
Actor.
That's why he won Best Actor.
Yeah.
But like this should not, because wasn't it in contention for Best Picture?
Yeah,
It
that's
was, yeah,
awesome.
yeah, it
and
was.
it didn't it win
for
Golden
at,
Globes,
at
yeah.
Golden Globes? Yeah, like
Ridiculous.
should not have been. Rami Malek's portrayal of Freddie Mercury is unreal. Like
Yeah.
obviously he deserved to win.
Mhm.
I don't know if I would have picked him for Best Actor, but
Yeah.
Let's be real. The awards this year kind of sucked.
Yeah,
They
there
were
honestly
just very-
wasn't a
wasn't a
lot.
great year for
very
movies
biased.
Yeah,
in a
it
way.
wasn't a lot of competition. So I mean,
But
like, sure,
We're
yeah,
not talking about the awards. We're talking about
yeah, I guess the
Yeah.
shit
Bohemian
that stinks
Rhapsody.
the less, it's the best shit.
yeah.
Sure.
Mhm.
That was a-
So Parker, do you want to say something about the movie, or do you want to go around? Do we all have our own opinions on it?
We'll just discuss it.
I already
together,
talked a little bit. I'll pass.
Well, I just want to say something quickly. Is that you know what, I did actually like the film. That when I was
What?
no,
This
just
is
wait.
news to us.
I'm not saying that I'm gonna watch it again,
It's
but
just come
when-
across my desk.
Hey, when I was in theaters, I watched it with my parents and my mom, and she loved it.
Your parents and your mom.
Okay, no, my
Two
parents.
dads?
Sorry, shut up.
I don't know. What,
My
you're gonna edit
parents
that out,
and my
Parker.
mom loved it. That's what I was
You're
trying
gonna
to
edit
say.
that out.
Hey Dan, lime me.
But
Kinda sucks.
is that it's a fine movie, and that's what I mean. You got to give credit for all the probably reshoots or all the directors that they were going through. They did a decent job. That's what I'm saying, is that it's still a decent movie. But the thing is, though, is that I think that they played it safe, so everybody could watch it, dude. And I feel like they played it safe so they could have a wider view, like wider
Safe
audience, so everybody could see it. But I feel like they could have gone so much more in depth into him concealing his sexuality.
This is facts.
Yeah, concealing his sexuality, his drug and partying problems. Because I know I've watched the documentary that he had a lot of problems with partying.
There's a rumor that he slept with over 1,000.
Yeah,
men.
and I just
Yeah.
feel like, man, they could have made this
there was so much stuff.
like
Well,
they could have made it so
think- okay, so-
dramatic, so much more dramatic and emotional. And I just feel like when I was watching it, that's what I mean. Is
no
that
emotional
yeah,
connection
there
at
was
all.
exactly,
Zero.
and there was
When there could have been
what
a
I
lot.
mean is when I was watching, I liked watching because they had good music playing.
The music was awesome. Yeah,
but
yeah.
honestly, the editing I thought was.
it was
kind
horrible.
of off.
Editing.
It was
editing
off,
was
yeah.
pretty bad.
But there's
it got
there's one
nominated too.
scene there's one
I think it won.
scene that really stuck out to me that I thought could have been done so much better. Is a scene where he's in the studio or whatever, and then he coughs up blood or whatever.
Yeah.
Immediately it just fades to the next scene. I'm like, you
Can
could have done so much more.
Or even came I know they come back.
They don't
to it
even
'cause
really
he-
But
touch
it-
on the HIV thing.
but it does.
Dude,
yeah.
it's the smallest thing, but
And
it's
the-
like
and the
I
HIV
understand.
It's like,
it-
dude, that's
Can I say something about this whole point?
Holy
that everyone's
fuck! I'm
making?
not even done. But yeah,
'Kay,
go.
You finish.
I just wanted
You
to say
finish.
is that they could have explored that so
One
much
down.
more, but that doesn't evoke an emotional
Gotta
connection
drive.
to him when it's just one little
put that
scene
back.
of him just coughing up blood. Like
Yeah.
there could have been some
'Kay, I'm
something more.
I'm gonna
more.
say something that kind of goes off of that. I feel like
Okay.
I feel like the movie is way too family oriented for such a dark story.
Yeah, but
right, like-
that is literally what I was gonna say. Is that they?
Did you guys just not hear what I said? I literally said that they played it safe, so I'm gonna have a wider
but I'm
audience.
just trying
Why are
to
you laughing?
Jack. I'm not Jack. Jack, stop
Sorry.
laughing, and if you're gonna
Jack.
laugh, put the mic down.
Jack had a lot of sugar before this.
Okay, all I was trying to say is I was trying to explain your point further.
Well, maybe you could have referenced me, but you didn't.
Source Emmett Gallant,
Okay.
2019, February. No, it's March.
March 1st.
Sorry.
March
Anyway,
Go.
Shout out March.
Dan, what kind of drugs did you do before you
It's a
came
good
here?
month, boys.
Okay. This is getting so out of hand.
Yeah, we've been
Okay.
good month. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay, all I wanted to say about the movie is I didn't absolutely hate the movie. Like, there were some good
Yeah.
parts
Yeah,
about the
I
movie.
didn't-
I feel like the direction, obviously, when you have a switch in directors,
Oh
not
my
going to be as well.
Yeah.
But like some of the filming, I will admit, not bad. Obviously, the score, when you have one of the greatest bands of all time and it's all their songs, the score is going to be,
Yeah.
which is, it seems almost irrelevant for a film like that. But like,
the point I
But
made
the-
is that I keep saying to everyone, I'm like, I didn't like it, and everyone's like, dude, the music was awesome. It's like, we know the
Dude,
music
the
was
music.
awesome.
Yeah,
because that's
like-
why they made a fucking movie about it.
yeah.
It's okay. Good.
Okay, I'd like to say my 2 cents on this because I haven't talked yet, but
How many cents?
2 cents
Okay.
expression.
Does anyone want that last one?
Okay, Jack. Why did you have to say that? Just let him speak.
Just asking.
Dude, Emmett, you're 7.
Shut up.
What is happening?
That's
Okay.
Chris D'Elia. Shout out.
Chris
Okay,
D'Elia goes sneaker shopping with Complex.
Okay, go.
This is why I left BuzzFeed.
okay. This is what
We're
we're
trying
trying.
Literally, we're wasting a
Yeah,
full
we're
20
trying.
minutes.
We're
Okay,
trying to have this under an hour.
This is why we have to
Holy
do a lot of
fuck.
editing. But okay, but my say on Bohemian, dude, is that like I didn't hate it, man, but like one thing that I don't think you guys mentioned yet, but the pacing of the movie is
Yeah.
so bad, man. It's almost like, dude, you see him at fucking working at an airport, like putting bags into the plane,
I honestly
and then
forgot about that.
the next 10 minutes he's literally recording Bohemian Rhapsody.
It's not 10 minutes.
No joke, dude. 10
It's-
minutes or
it's
20 minutes in the
actually
film.
It's pretty quick.
No joke,
yeah.
dude. The pacing is okay. Over exaggeration, but dude, like it is so quick. The pacing,
Like,
man.
them recording Bohemian Rhapsody was like, took up like a third of the movie, which is,
Yeah.
dude,
but
when
the
they-
start of
the
it,
whole
the start of
time-
it, when they start
I know,
getting
I know
big.
what you're saying, but like, the pacing was off.
Yeah.
The pacing, no, the
I
pacing.
know you're saying.
No,
pacing is
dude,
off.
I
Yeah.
stand.
His-
I stand with my opinion, man.
But
The
Dan, his
pacing was
rise
horrible.
to stardom, and I think his fall with like his AIDS, concealing his sexuality, partying. I think it wasn't explored enough, and it didn't go deep enough. You know what I
No,
mean?
there's a
No,
lot of
but-
shit that
but
they
that's
could have
what I'm
used for
saying,
an
dude, is that,
emotional
like,
connection. And they
yeah.
didn't.
Something like that, like
Yeah.
something like Freddie Mercury, who like
Had
the
such
most
an
one of the most iconic figures of
music.
like all time, and
Yeah.
especially in music.
He had
man.
an iconic
You
figure.
could explore his life so
body.
deep, man, but it's like the
It was a
movie-
very surface
the movie was a
level.
family.
It was a surface level family.
surface level family
film.
we
movie.
need an R-rated version
Just to
of
be
Bohemian
about their
Rhapsody.
music, like very
just
little about Freddie
anal
Mercury
sex and
his,
cocaine.
and his personal issues that he dealt with. Not like issues, but just his
Yeah.
personal, the personal stuff he's dealt with,
and
just
that's
like everyone else.
Yeah, and that's why
And-
I don't feel like
Yeah.
it should have got nominated
And
for
it's
Best
like that's
Picture.
okay, but it's like, man, like someone like Freddie Mercury, like you gotta do him justice, man. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Rami did him justice. They
Yeah,
just
he-
he wasn't in
the
control.
portrayal of Freddie, but
Yeah.
it's
It's more than that. I
It's
think
the portrayal of his life, not just the
story.
acting.
They needed a better
things.
screenwriter for it.
I think,
Yeah.
okay, so I think that we can all agree that the,
I haven't said anything yet. Can I say something?
yeah, for
You
sure.
said a lot.
I haven't said anything about this movie yet. Yeah, no, I'm saying after you.
I was actually going to close it off, so say whatever you
Oh,
want.
Okay.
Getting
Sorry,
lightheaded
Parker.
here.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I'm gonna be honest. I did not like this movie at all. I saw it with my mom a couple months ago. She asked me to go see it. She's a fan of Queen growing up, and I was like, yeah,
same with
like
my
it's
mom.
great music.
My mom wore her Queen
But,
shirt to the movie.
Cool. But no. But anyways, but yeah, like Emmett said, there was a lot of emotional ties they could have used.
Keep
that
your
they
mic
didn't use.
by.
It's by my mouth. They.
I took it, bro.
It's in my mouth. It's in my mouth.
That would have been bad.
Sorry, but no, exactly.
Had
Like
it
Freddie Mercury's one of the most iconic singers of all time. He's like you said, he's something funny there, buddy.
No,
He's like he's a legend, and like they didn't use. I thought it was shot like a music video. I didn't like the way it looked. Like there's a scene when he's in an interview, like they're interviewing him, and he's sitting up on whatever, and it's like
kind of
what do you call it? I don't know what
Podium?
you'd call that.
Podium or
Yeah, it's like almost like after a sports game
Yeah.
interview type
Press
things.
conference.
Yeah, press
like a
conference,
press conference. Exactly.
There's a scene where there's doing a press conference and it's like the cameras are spinning and it's like it looked too glossed for me. Like I don't know how to explain it. The way it looked like a music video. It looked really fake. Also, like you don't expect well, I'm serious, and you don't expect Rami Malek to like obviously sing as well as Freddie Mercury. Like, who's gonna be able to do that? But like, you know, you could tell that everything was edited to a certain point where it's like it just sounded like you were listening
like a
to
Queen
it.
music video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It didn't sound like it was like when he's singing.
It was a bunch of clips of people with Queen music.
There was a
behind
scene
it.
where he's in his living room playing the piano, singing "Happy Fucking Birthday" to himself, and it sounds like it was recorded in like a master studio. I'm like, it just sounded weird. I didn't like
Yeah,
it.
they needed
Like,
to record it on like a pair of
Yeah.
iPhone headphones.
Yeah.
And
no,
like,
for
Dude,
real
it
though,
was
there's a
just-
lot of stuff
man,
wrong
it
with
was
it.
Yeah.
Like
honestly,
Daniel said, the pacing was horrible.
I thought it was the
And
most
also, when he won the
generic
fucking
rock
Oscar,
biopic
when he won the
ever.
Oscar, his wife in the film that he was married to in the beginning, like Freddie Mercury's wife that he was married to,
Mary.
she was with him at the Oscars. Looked like they're dating or something. I was like, there was no chemistry between them in the film.
No, dude.
Yeah, I was actually gonna
Well, I
say
mean,
that
that's kind of the point.
Was
that
that-
there's no
I guess
chemistry
because,
in
but
them
like,
in the film
yeah,
'cause
but
he's
here's the thing
gay.
though. He still afterwards, when they ended their relationship, he was like still very much a part of her life, and they were
Yeah,
like great
yeah, they were-
friends.
they were
had
really
like a great
close, yeah.
relationship. And also, the twins pointed this out to me. I don't know how we haven't talked about this yet. They fucking changed like what actually happened. Like
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury
Yeah.
was not the first person in Queen to go solo.
Mhm,
Yeah, there was a
that too.
whole side of that storyline where they're like, man, like he's kind of screwing us over.
Like
by
they're
doing this,
they're
and
pissed
off
because
at
it's
him.
like he left Queen first, but
But it's like,
apparently
that's
like
not
the
true.
guitarist left.
Also,
Queen
like
first.
obviously, if Hollywood's making a movie about the center man of Queen, they're gonna create the story around him.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
just, dude,
and
it's
there was
just-
no drugs.
they're
There was no
just
drug use, and that was part of his
yeah.
life. There's no anything to do with his. Obviously, it showed that he was gay, and that's whatever. But they didn't get into that. There was obviously a reason that he had HIV. He had a lot of sexual partners. Like they didn't show any of that. He was
Yeah.
an extremely lonely guy. They didn't show any of that.
Yeah. They
You know, I
just.
thought
They,
they
I
could've-
think
they
they
had a
hol-
lot of
I think they Hollywoodized it to
Exactly.
shit.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
cut you off.
The only
there.
good thing about that
we-
movie though is the
What-
Live Aid scene. I'd give him
Mhm.
props. It was-
Because it's literally
Yeah.
1-for-1 of the live
Yeah.
aid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Like
But,
before
like, you
we
know,
just like end
even
this
that
on
looks a
just
little bit fake
shitty
as well.
level. Yeah, shout out to the Live Aid.
yeah.
Shout
they
out.
did
Shout out
show that.
AIDS.
The Live Aid, the last scene, honestly, like I
Sorry,
enjoyed
that
that.
was-
Like that was filmed really, really
Shout out
well.
Magic Johnson.
Apparently, they worked on that for so long. What?
Just continue with whatever you had to say.
See
Keep
Magic
talking,
Johnson.
Did you say that?
Did you see Magic Johnson?
Someone must have earlier.
Okay, are we gonna close this off?
What did-
this must have been the day.
Can we close this off?
The Live Aid scene was awesome, and the movie was not all shitty. It was mostly shitty. There we go.
We all didn't
Okay.
like it. There it is.
We all didn't like it. Good parts of it. Bohemian Rhapsody, directed by 8 different guys.
Yeah, who was the
Yeah,
first director who got fired? What's his name?
Didn't he have, like,
He's the
sexual
director of, like,
assault
X-Men.
direct-
Yeah, it's the X-Men guy.
Sweet. Let's get the guy who does superhero movies to.
And that's kind of what it looked like.
Yeah.
That was to my point. Like I said,
It's
music
very
video. It
Hollywoodized.
looked almost like it, they
Yeah.
had a shit ton of money, but
It's
they
like
didn't know
an
what to do with
action
it.
movie.
Yeah, it was
almost.
filmed strange.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's the next
Okay.
one you want to talk about?
Actually,
You okay with that?
I forgot to say this part because I actually wanted to say one scene. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Is that one scene that actually I thought it could have been a little bit better, but now that's just me being like critical. But
We're wrapping it up.
I thought the scene. Sorry, I just want to quickly say that the scene when Rami or Freddie says, tells Mary that he's bisexual, but he's actually gay. I thought it was actually kind of a touching scene because they
It's
said
almost like he
that.
does want to
Yeah, no, but they said that when the TV was playing the love
Song
of my,
that
the Love
he
of My
wrote
Life
for
that
her,
he
yeah.
wrote for her, and I thought that little combination it was sweet. It was sweet.
Yeah.
But
Anyways,
not
that was the only
sweet
thing I liked.
enough.
And on to the next one.
We're
love the
yeah,
scene
we're
when he
done
tells
with
her
this.
she's Mr.
Bohemian
Robot.
Rhapsody. Awful movie. We're gonna move on to a movie that also won an Oscar, Roma, by Alfonso Cuarón. Cuarón.
I haven't seen this one, so I'm not gonna have any.
Yeah,
input,
but
Jack,
we'll
step
talk
out of
about
the
it.
room,
We'll
please.
talk about it quickly for like a couple minutes. I cried
10.
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, I
too.
teared up
A
during
lot.
this movie.
Not a lot, but like the last scene,
enough.
I cried a lot.
Yeah,
Movie
Shut your
is-
mouth, okay.
Not hard to watch. Like I don't know, if you're not really into movies, it's not a movie that you would just like
Yeah.
watch because for one, it's in black and white. Number two, it's all in Spanish.
And there's no
it's a
story.
foreign. It is a foreign movie.
It is a
Like,
foreign
It
film.
was submitted also as a foreign movie in the
Yeah.
Oscars. So like there's
But it was up for, wasn't it up for Best Picture?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
it was but it won.
It won Best Foreign Film.
Best
But yeah,
foreign.
it also got. It was actually the first movie in history I think that got nominated for both foreign film and Best Picture.
Hasn't he
Bless
won?
you.
He's won foreign film before, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I think he has, but
Yeah.
that was his.
This is his biggest one, and it was also a Netflix production.
Yeah.
which is kind
That's-
of like
kinda
Netflix-
Netflix is starting to buy more movies from
I
festivals.
feel
Like,
in a way that I was just saying it's kind of scary that was a Netflix original.
But
and
also
it's getting
that-
nominated for Oscars.
It's
is
not a
because,
Netflix
like,
original. Netflix just bought the movie.
okay.
yeah,
Bought
Don't,
the
the only-
production
all
rights
I'm
to the
saying though
movie.
is the reason it scares me
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
is I don't want the theaters to become eventually the equivalents of Blockbuster.
that's a good.
But I
point.
think
Yeah.
I
I
also
think it
think that
will.
I think Netflix is a good platform for movies to be available to people, right? Like
Yeah.
less people are going
Just
to movies
kill
and
some
more
of the cinematic.
Yeah, that is true.
less people are going to movies. More people are sitting on their ass in their underwear watching movies.
Yeah,
Mhm.
or
So, like,
pajamas.
I prefer butt naked. Anyways,
That's personal.
I'll
That
say
on the next episode.
things that I really liked about this film. The camera work, like every single shot, basically is a long continuous shot.
Mhm.
Must have taken.
It's a pan most of the time.
It's a
It's just
pan most of the
panning
time.
so slowly.
Yeah. I think
it's
from left to
panning
right or
almost
right to
every
left.
time.
Well,
Yeah.
we were talking about this before. Isn't every scene panning until the last one where it like stops and then it like
It
looks
tilts up, yeah.
Yeah, and I want to get into that because I'm not
The
sure if
last
you ever
scene-
noticed, but there are a lot of shots of planes.
Yeah.
I noticed
the
that.
the opening scene,
Scene-
during the credits is a
yeah.
plane flying over a reflection
Yeah.
of water.
Of water,
Yeah.
and then the last scene is.
There's a plane in the.
But you got to think about that. You just mentioned it. It pans the whole movie, and then the last shot, it finally elevates up.
Yeah.
Watching her go up the stairs,
Yeah.
and me and Emmett actually. Well, I'm not sure if you noticed it before I pointed it out.
I
but
think I noticed it
Whoa.
first.
Emmett and I were actually talking about this. Excuse me, is that the movie has a lot of like symbolism and a lot of themes
a ton.
of like elevating, like mentally,
Yeah.
like mental
like
strength,
overcoming.
and
Yeah.
overcoming something.
And
Yeah,
that's what I really loved about it. Also, in the last scene when she's literally like fighting against the waves,
Yeah.
I thought was
Yeah.
a super
Dude, that
good
was the most-
metaphor for like, not even a metaphor, just a super good symbolic scene about
Yeah.
the whole underlying theme of the movie, which is kind of like overcoming.
yeah, but it's
Yeah.
about like a lot of. There is a lot of themes about like family and like staying
Family
together.
and loyalty.
But there is a lot of
and-
family.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Okay,
no,
Emmett.
Dan, because I know you wanted to talk about that. The first and last scene is because the first scene is looking down when
down
you see the
into
airplane.
a reflection
yeah,
of
Mhm.
the sky.
exactly, and you can see the airplane, and then the last scene is like when
Jack,
it
how's it
tilts
going?
up and you see the airplane. So it's
Fine.
almost like she's finally risen to her like highest
Yeah.
level.
So yeah. Building on that, it's just it's like it's a lot about like mental strength.
Yeah.
Because you can see it as her character, like from the movie, you can see in her character that she is very
Mentally strong, like
she is very
she
mentally
is
strong. Like she's very
composure.
composed. Okay, but what I was saying though is that it's all like a lot of What is going on with you
No,
guys?
we're listening.
What's this guy? Who are you?
Hey, speaking of this film, shout out to the naked karate scene. Thoroughly enjoyed a lot of dick flapping
That
action.
What was that guy's name?
Kinda
Furman?
weird.
We're still talking about
I don't
Furman.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you
Fuck, I don't know what that guy's name is.
what?
Fuck that guy.
Okay,
What'd you
can
say?
we should probably like not spend too much time on this.
Okay, but that's what I'm saying is that like there is a lot to talk about this movie though, like a lot of like
There is. It's a
symbolism.
very
but
artistic film.
but-
Because of the movie.
What Daniel's trying to say, I'll just talk for him, is that the scene where she goes to visit Furman, that little, that weirdo. But, well, I wouldn't say he's a weirdo, but anyway, he's a guy. But
Okay.
he,
on his phone.
I
But
haven't
when-
seen this movie, man. I
but
have nothing
when
to input
the
about
the
this.
scene, okay, Park, I'll talk to you. The scene where she visits Furman, that's his name, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Where
At
Furman
in the field.
at the
right?
field where
Yeah.
he's training, and they're like all expecting that one dude, to do something crazy. Where he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, this is what
Yeah,
I do.
I
And then,
really like that
and then
scene.
he
Have you tried to do that?
no.
Impossible.
Yeah, but the thing is, that
is really
Cleo is the only one that could do that.
Yeah, I know.
and you can
And I
just
didn't notice that until I was like reading about the film after.
Daniel
Yeah.
didn't notice that. Till
Yeah,
I
and
told
then
him.
and also that's also what I was gonna say is that like during the scene where he's like, a guy's like, yo, you like come in blindfold me. And like you said, they're expecting this like magical thing to happen, like all about like physical strength, right? Oh, sorry, all about physical strength and like showing something that like something you got to be physically strong to do, right? And then he does this balancing thing, and they're all
Which
just
is
like,
all mental.
Yeah,
which is
it's
all
all
mental
mental
strength, and
strength.
they're all and everyone in everyone in the audience, I guess, or all the training trainees are just like
The ninjas.
the ninjas, yeah, the martial arts.
Furman's a ninja.
Blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter, but they're all just like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell is this? And they're all just confused. And then it cuts back to the shot of him doing it like that. I don't know
Yeah.
who he really is, but like
He's like their sensei.
yeah, but then there's a shot of an airplane
Yeah.
flying over him, and then it cuts back, and then it's Cleo doing it,
Doing
and she's
it.
she's
And I
the
didn't
only one
notice
doing
that
it
until
perfectly. So
after.
that also kind of shows that like
Because
just
she's
a part
surrounded,
of her-
and she's also, I noticed when I went back, she's separated from everyone else. Like, remember,
Yeah.
she's in the middle and nobody's really around her.
Yeah,
And then there's a bunch of people on either side of her that are like wobbling around trying to do the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
so
is
yeah,
true.
there is a
Yeah.
lot of like
It's a lot of
very
symbolic-
subtle symbolic
symbolicism-
detail in there that
symbolicism
like it's
is the
kind
word
of
you're
it's
looking
kind of
for.
hard.
Yeah.
The only thing I
Symbolism.
heard was that it's just slow.
Symbolism, Parker.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, the
Symbolism.
movie.
Doesn't
really be, like,
Dude, the
Symbolism.
movie is really slow.
Yeah.
So like,
But
I can see a lot of people not watching it just simply because of that.
I think I still gave it a 4 or 4.5 on Letterboxd.
I haven't rated it yet, but I'm not even gonna tell
Yeah.
you guys. You guys gotta see for yourself. But
Um,
the movie is extremely slow, but like. It's very smooth camera work. It's very
Well, with
pretty.
those
Like,
long
dude, even
panning
in black,
shots, it's
even in
very-
black and white, you get like the whole view of the city and
Yeah.
like what kind of shit they're dealing with. Because in the like after I guess in the second act, more actually leading into the third act, shit starts to hit the fan. Like you really
Yeah, it
start
gets
to
really
see
intense,
the whole.
yeah.
It actually starts to get intense,
Yeah.
especially after like.
and
the
well,
movie
especially
being
when there's
so
that like
slow.
revolutionary scene where people are like running in with guns, and it's
Yeah.
what's his
Furman,
name?
yeah.
Furman
It's
like
his-
comes up
it's
to her and
her-
has like literally could kill her right there,
Yeah.
and doesn't.
Which yeah,
As her
man, there
water's
was a-
breaking too. Like,
yeah,
there's a-
sorry, that's a
exactly.
little bit of a spoiler, but
No,
like,
it's-
There's a lot
it's
of
okay.
man. There's just a lot of powerful
Yeah.
scenes. Like, dude, no joke, man. Like that scene where like
It's-
she runs into the ocean and saves the
the ending
kids.
scene, pretty much.
Well, dude, even the scene when she's
And
giving
she's-
birth, like
Yeah.
that was pretty intense.
And
sorry,
Yeah, man, it's powerful stuff. Dude.
Yeah.
It's like holy, like man, like I honestly I
It's a
couldn't even
very-
breathe
Yeah.
during that scene. I
It's
was
a-
like, it's
yeah.
like whoa, like
But
it just hits you.
Super. I don't know. Do you have anything else? you
well,
wanna
no, I
say?
just want to
Probably
add is
if you
add on to
never
kind of the
really
whole
hear
mental strength thing
Like,
is that
if you're scared in
I
some
feel
scenes,
like
Oh, yeah,
that
100%.
scene with her in the water like was kind of ultimately like her breaking scene. Is that like that really like broke her like
because she admits it at the end of it.
She
That's
ad-
the
yeah,
literally
she
the last
admits
line
it
in the movie.
that,
is her.
but that exactly.
fruit
But she
faces
admits it that
memory
you know.
loss.
Well, I don't know if that's like a spoiler, but she
It is.
okay. But she admits something very like personal, but that just shows like how strong you have to be to actually
Yeah.
like even admit something
Yeah.
like that.
but
Yeah,
let alone
it's a
undergo a process of something
Yeah,
like that. Even that
yeah.
having that mental thought.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right?
having that
Like,
thought of being like, you know, you would think of more of the sad like, oh, you know, you wanted this to happen, but she didn't want that to happen. She wanted the complete opposite, but that
Anyways.
just
Yeah.
shows her character. Like
it
she's
does.
very
She got
mental.
nominated for best actress.
She did,
She did,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
she should have, man. She plays like, especially in the middle, or sorry, the first half of the movie. She plays like a very like she doesn't really do much.
Yeah, but
like, she's the
obviously,
center of
like-
attention, but like she doesn't really say
Yeah.
much. But it's like near the
And
Just
I
an
hate to
honest
say it, but
performance.
like,
near the
Best
second
Actress
half,
isn't
she
gonna go
starts
to
to
a foreign
really.
actor,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
unless, well, what's his name from the guy from No Country for Old Men,
Yeah,
whatever his name was the
Javier
first
Bardem.
Spanish
It's
actor
his
to ever
birthday
win
today,
Best
I think.
Actor.
Oh,
Is it his
really?
birthday today?
Yeah.
Oh,
Shout
Javier
out-
Bardem, yeah.
Shout out Javier Bardem.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, the
we're gonna
Spanish,
move
the
on.
Spanish
Spaniards.
actors
Roma,
and
fantastic
actresses.
film. Everyone should watch. Super
I'm gonna
powerful.
have to
5
watch it, so-
stars.
One,
5 stars
one-
on Letterboxd.
One
I'm gonna have to
best
watch it,
foreign
so.
film. Yeah. What do we want to move on to next?
I think we want to talk a little bit about Hereditary.
Okay, you
Yeah.
guys can talk about that. I haven't seen Hereditary, so
Can I kick this one off?
Kick it off.
Jack, kick it off.
So another A24 movie, another big snub I thought for the Oscars. I think Toni Collette got nominated for a
Well,
lot
who
of
knows?
stuff.
It might not even have yeah, like
Applied.
applied for it.
That's true.
Because you know KOD didn't apply for Grammys, just so you know.
I don't know if they can do that with. I don't know what the. Who knows,
Okay,
right?
but
But anyway,
you have
that
to.
is true,
You still have to
though.
apply for awards. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I think
Anyway.
the first guy to do that was Frank with
Yeah.
Blonde. But
Yeah.
anyways, yeah, no, another A24 movie. Toni Collette's unreal in it. I think she got nominated for a lot of other things like Gotham Awards. I think she won, or
Yeah,
she
like
was
smaller
at least
award
nominated.
shows and
Smaller
stuff.
award shows she won. I'll just say right now, Hereditary is the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't want to make that jump. And another thing that kind of confused me is that movie, like, you know, no discredit to Get Out. That's an awesome movie. I don't know how Get Out got nominated and then a movie like Hereditary doesn't get nominated.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
Well,
thinking that they probably didn't apply.
Yeah.
Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough.
But
Um,
Well,
the
actually, I
director,
don't know. I watch like a lot of like movie review shows, or sorry, videos on like YouTube where they know a lot about the Oscars, and they still said that Hereditary should have been like Oscar buzz, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
So I think they did, man. Like I think they did apply.
Well,
Yeah.
it got super snubbed.
yeah.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Like
they said that they
I haven't
snubbed it.
seen the movie. I don't really like scary movies, if I'm being honest. But Jack, you've
Something you gotta see.
you've said a lot
Dude,
about this
it
movie.
is, man. Like that's what I'm
You
saying.
saw
is
it in
that
theaters, correct?
I did see it in
Yeah.
theaters, and I absolutely loved it, dude. There are some
did?
iconic.
You
What's that?
did see it in theaters?
I did see it in
Okay.
theaters, yeah. And
Is that the
there
thing that you posted on our IG of the person that's like on fire?
on fire, yeah, dude. There are some like I don't want to say like iconic scenes, but dude, there are some
there's
scenes
some iconic
in
scenes.
in that movie where you're literally blown away. You're like, I would never
I have
see so much
never-
like detail put into like a horror movie.
I have never been in a theater. What's his name again?
I love
Peter?
it. Love it.
in the movie.
Yeah.
Honestly, I have no idea, but I think it is Peter.
I think it's
actually.
Peter, but her brother, we'll just call
Yeah,
him
Peter.
We'll just call him her brother. Peter it is.
Peter it is,
'Kay,
yeah.
Her brother Peter, he's driving her. I don't know. I don't want to send any spoilers. It's on Netflix now too, so if you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix
It is
now,
on
so you can
Netflix,
easily
yeah.
You
watch
should
it.
definitely watch it.
There's a
proper,
scene in that
seriously.
movie where I've never been in a theater where everyone is just like completely like you're silent in a movie, but it was like everyone was like
You
What the fuck did
everyone
we
was
just watch?
literally
You hear a pin drop.
struck, man. Like no,
it's one of the
joke.
most what the fuck scenes, and probably one of the best scenes I've seen in a theater of all. Like
yeah.
The best acted scene.
Yeah.
best acted scene.
What's his name? Is it Alex Wolf?
It is.
Or Nat Wolf?
Nat Wolf is his brother.
Okay, I think it's Alex Wolf. But man,
he
he
kills it.
absolutely
Fucking
like,
kills it.
and that just shows that's a perfect scene of like no dialogue, where it's just straight like acting, like actually like
one of the
using
best
his
scenes I've seen in a
emotion.
movie.
Yeah.
Like for real, that movie is so thought out. There is so many. You have to watch it multiple times. I've
Yeah.
only seen it twice.
Yeah.
You have to watch it probably 5 or 6 times to see everything that's in
Yeah.
it because
Yeah.
there's so many little
so
things.
many little details.
And that's why it's like movies like that need to be in it. I think it probably wasn't as much buzz around it because it deals with some pretty fucking like heavy,
But
like
it-
satanic type
Yeah,
shit.
yeah.
But that
Like
movie was
Hereditary,
scary,
literally,
man.
like
pretty
Hereditary.
generic horror movie elements.
But the style of
way-
filming, the
of it,
style of
yeah.
filming. Me and Shmem were talking about when we first saw it. Is there, I forget what he call it, but Toni Collette's character, her job is to what was it called?
She makes like miniature,
Yeah.
Miniature houses, miniature like portraits of
figures and
situations
stuff.
type things. You
Like
know what I
little,
mean?
it's
But
like action figure type
yeah, it's
things.
type like that.
honestly.
But there are scenes where it's like she'll be playing like you can see if you watch the trailer. There's a scene where it's like she's looking at the house that she's making, and it's supposed to be representative of their house, and then all of a sudden it's like the camera goes and it's like that's what's really going on.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
zooms in on her toy house, and it
Yeah.
becomes a room in their actual house.
Yeah.
I think
It
that has a
tripped me
lot
out a
to do
little
with
bit.
because it's an A24, right?
Yeah.
I think
A24,
that has
yeah.
a lot to do with it because A24 is kind of
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
next
always
level.
have.
Yeah.
They always want to be the movies that stand out.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
just 'cause
And
they're
this
so
one-
different.
Yeah. And the thing
This
is,
one's above it all.
I just want to say that right when you start watching the movie, immediately like the first shot is as intense as the whole entire movie.
Yeah.
Like the first shot,
it's fucking
it just you can
terrifying,
see
man.
that
It
it like
is.
slowly pans and then it like almost glitches and then it keeps going
and it just does that to
Yeah.
fuck with
Yeah,
you.
and it creates an
And
intensity.
a thing
and
about
f-
that
and
is that
It's an
a lot of
unnerving
people are
effect.
saying like when
Yeah,
I was in the theater,
unnerving.
where it kind of drags on. It's like it's slow, but it builds up. It's one of those things where you're in a movie, you're like, okay, like when is stuff gonna start happening? It's almost like you jinx yourself by saying that because
Yeah.
you're like, at the end, you're like, wow.
And dude, the
Yeah.
thing I love about them,
Yeah.
like one of the main things I love most about that movie is that I think there's one jump scare.
yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
else is pure, just
And
like
you know what?
it's
Yeah,
suspenseful.
one of the
like you are
scariest scenes in
scared
that
just
movie-
simply at what you're looking at. It's not just some sound
Pop it
effect
up.
that
Which
just
it was
makes
so
you jump.
original. It was so
It is.
original.
It's like you're just scared of what you're
honestly,
looking at.
besides
the way
mid
it's filmed.
'90s, it was probably my favorite movie of
Really?
2018.
I'll definitely
Dude,
have to watch.
There is
Yeah.
a scene where her brother, it's Alex Wolf, right?
Yeah, I think
Alex
it's
Wolf, he's in class, and it's kind of just when the possession of their family kind of just starts to hit.
Mhm.
And he's in class, and I don't know if the director didn't tell the kids in the class what the hell the scene was going to be. But there's a scene where he's in class, and like he's almost like sleep deprived. He's kind of like in his bed, and the next scene he's like on his desk asleep in class.
Yeah,
and you're
there's
like,
just
whoa.
a quick cut. You're
Yeah,
like,
quick
whoa,
cut.
yeah.
And he's in his class, and whatever. And so like he looks at his reflection. There's like a glass portrait beside him or something like that, like a glass window. Looks at his reflection, and he's like tired. He's whatever, and his reflection is like smiling at him.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck? And then the teacher's teaching her class. She asks a question. She's like, oh, does anyone have the answer? He puts up his hand. You look at him, it almost looks like he's like having a seizure type thing. Like he's whatever.
It's fucked.
It's fucked. It's weird. And then everyone, but I don't know if they didn't tell the kids that was going to happen. But he puts up his hand, and it was one of the most realistic scenes I've seen, like jump scare wise or just scary wise. No, sorry, not jump scare.
Not
but
jump scare.
puts up his hand, and they're like, the teacher's like Peter, like go ahead, like say what you have to say. He's like won't say anything. Starts slamming his head on the table, and everyone like in the scene is like terrified. Like the kids in that class are like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Man?
Yeah.
It's like actually scary to watch because of
Wow.
how scared the other kids are. And then
Yeah.
he snaps out of it, and he starts screaming and crying and stuff.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Say there's in movies and horror movies where
You
it's
know,
like,
he actually smashed his face against the desk. Though.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he actually did.
He
that.
actually did
Holy
that.
shit,
Yeah, like all
man.
that blood is like
Is
is
actually
real,
his.
real
No
shit.
way.
Yeah.
That's
no way.
Film as well,
Yeah,
man.
no, I read
Dude,
about
and he
that,
snaps
yeah.
out of it, and he starts crying and screaming like he just woke up from a fucking nightmare type
Yeah.
thing.
Like it's so
Real. Like it's
man.
scary.
Like,
What I was gonna say is that in horror movies, sometimes the typical shittier horror movies, the older kids, like the older brother type scenario, they have to kind of be strong because they're the older brother.
Yeah.
They don't want to show that they're scared. It was like, I'm
That was
scared.
thrown
I'm
out the
admitting I'm
window,
scared.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a little kid now. Like,
Yeah.
that's almost how he acted. How
Yeah.
scared he was.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
we
even like
gotta
that scene when his
yeah.
mom.
Cut. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well,
Sorry,
we gotta
I'm
just
to enjoy it.
wrap it up if you
Yeah.
can.
Like a
Really?
minute,
Yeah.
a minute.
There's a scene when he's with his mom. He's just showing how scared he, like, you know what? Just great performances by everyone. I thought it was a great movie. One of the biggest what the fuck endings to a movie I've ever seen.
yeah.
One of the best theater movies I've ever seen. That's my favorite movie of 2018, honestly.
So, yeah, this is our last little segment. We're gonna just do some honorable mentions.
Yeah.
One that I wanted to talk about was The Favorite. Olivia Colman obviously won Best Actress in that.
A lot of
I thought that was
nominations, actually.
it was a lot of
Yeah.
a lot of nominations. And one thing that me and Emmett were talking about today, the thing that I actually like stood out the most to me about that was actually the credit design, which I've never said about a movie
Yeah.
before, but like
credit, like the
Credits.
credits.
Yeah.
the credits, and
The
you know
way
how
it
like
looked.
you know how it like it's kind of like a Tarantino film where it's like split into like chapters, and there was like
Yeah.
a chapter title for each one.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why, I just like that's what stood out to me was like
Yeah.
the design
What's
of
the
that. stuff.
director's name?
Okay.
Yorgos.
Yorgos
Yorgos
Lanthimos.
Lanthimos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some strange movies, but
So, like,
he seems to be
the
pretty smart.
Lobster Man.
I still don't under.
The
It's
Lobster's
above my head. Like I get it. I get what it's trying to say, but like that was just one where I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Because the dialogue also
Yeah,
is
exactly.
like
Okay.
We don't need to talk about
Yeah.
this. Anyways, that was my honorable mention. Really enjoyed that movie. Geniusly comedic too.
Yeah. Is there? Well, Parker, do you want to say like maybe a couple movies that?
I know you wanted
that-
to
I
shout
don't
out
know, you
American
wanna add?
Animals.
I guess it
Uh,
wouldn't have to be an
yeah,
honorable
I really
mention, but
do.
like what are
Honorable
some of your
mentions. Another.
favorites?
Well, I honestly didn't see a ton of 2018 movies. Black Klansman would be another one I really enjoyed.
yeah.
I
I
Obviously
wasn't
Spike
crazy
Lee
about
won.
that, but
Spike Lee
was
won
good.
Was it adapted screenplay or original
I think so.
screenplay?
I think
adapted screenplay, I
I didn't
think.
really like that
For
one.
which
I don't
one?
know.
Black Klansman.
Black Klansman.
We
Those
saw
are
it
my
together.
two. Those are my
Yeah.
two other movies
Yeah, that
from
is
last year
adapted screenplay.
that I really liked. I don't know, Emmett. You can.
No, okay. No, I agree. I like Black Klansman. I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like in my top movies.
No,
but
it's not in my top movies, but it was just
Yeah.
another good movie that I
Yeah,
saw. In
yeah,
2018.
yeah.
I really liked Adam Driver in that.
I
Yeah.
really like
Yeah.
The Favorite too. That was actually my first Yorgos movie that I've seen. I haven't seen The Lobster or
So strange.
To Kill a Sacred Deer. I know Daniel, you've seen
I've
those.
seen
but,
both of them. Yeah.
But yeah, The Favorite, like the acting and just the combination of like humor, like dark comedy, and just
Lesbianism,
like just like a
sexuality, I guess, is a really overlying.
yeah,
theme
like
in
it's
that.
just it's a mix of just so many different things. Like even just the fact that they're like, cleaning the queen's like legs and stuff. They're just like all gross, and it's just a very like unsettling movie.
But
kind of.
that is what he's trying to get.
Yeah,
at.
like
The
it-
director, man. His other movies. I'm not going to
Yeah.
get into that, but they're so different.
yeah,
man.
they're
It's
just
like,
it's I don't know.
It's
I
cool
just
though.
I
It
really
is cool,
enjoyed
yeah.
the movie.
It's cool. It's something
It's
else.
supposed to make
Yeah.
you
I have
uncomfortable
to-
though.
Okay.
Sorry, or are we
Yeah.
gonna keep-
No, you
Oh,
just
okay.
keep going.
But another movie that I just absolutely loved was 8th Grade. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, that
that
I still haven't seen it, unfortunately.
Haven't
man,
seen
Another
you,
A24
you
as
guys
well.
should. Yeah, another A24 movie. But I just think that is the rawest acting that you can have. Like I think it's even more raw than mid 90s, which I thought
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
But
just
it's a real
awesome.
portrayal of like
Yeah,
literally
like
junior high.
junior
kids,
high like anxious kids, but with Elsie Fisher, like she is very antisocial, and
Yeah.
and so
but it's with
you
the
can s-
implementation of like technology.
Yeah.
Bo
now.
Burnham's
Exactly.
a very smart guy.
But yeah, Bo Burnham,
because Bo
like,
Burnham gets it.
fuck,
Like
that
he
guy's just
understands it.
so smart at what he's
So
doing.
funny as
But
well.
my I swear,
Mhm.
man, my favorite scene of that movie is just the conversation between her and her dad at the fire, and like it's so like just heartwarming with the dad and Elsie. I don't know her character's name. I
Damn,
kind of
really
forget,
wanna see
but
that one.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like you can just
It's
tell that
funny,
like
too. It's
they're the
hilarious.
only two in that family, and that's all they
I'll have to
have.
watch
And
it.
it just it's just
Is
Yeah,
there
that was
super
a really
awesome.
any others?
scene,
Don't
though.
wanna show
And
Boy
then
Erased.
my other one was American Animals. That was 2018,
Yeah.
and that didn't get like any buzz at all. I don't even think.
Not really.
No, like Oscar buzz or anything like that. But it's like a biopic of these three guys.
four guys.
Four guys, sorry, who were actually, two of them were really good friends, and then the other two were kind of like acquaintances type friends that they kind of just went to high school with and everything. But they basically like rob or plan a heist to take these very like rare and precious books from a library. It's a very basic storyline, but they made it so thrilling because these guys are just average dudes.
They're
like,
literally the run-of-the-mill normal
like
college
normal
dudes.
guys,
like nothing
and
crazy.
they
about 'em.
just ended up wanting to do something that is, I don't know, something that they just didn't expect, something like life-changing in their life.
Yeah, and that's
And I don't know, they made it so thrilling. Like I was so invested in the characters.
oh, dude, I've never. It's really rare for a movie to actually make my heart race.
Yeah.
like that movie
Yeah.
literally made my
And
heart
just
race.
just a quick add is
Yeah.
that they used, what I loved about it is I actually haven't seen a movie like this, but they portrayed the movie like as a regular storyline from like start to finish, but in certain parts they like went back and started interviewing like the real guys that played.
Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
What
really?
is
So
another
it's
movie
like
that,
a-
what
it's
is
like a
another movie
fiction-
that just
it's a
did that?
fiction-
There was another movie that just did that. It was 2017, but
really.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
sick.
I've
Yeah,
never.
but
apparently,
dude,
apparently there are other movies that
Yeah.
have done it, but literally, like there'll be like scenes where like it'll be like what actually happened, and then it'll go back
Yeah.
to the real person.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, did this actually happen?
Yeah.
And the guy's like,
Like,
yeah,
just
I
a
did.
quick-
like,
just-
it's,
like, just
it's
a
kind of funny. It's like
yeah.
kind of comedic, but it makes it
yeah.
Like a
really,
quick-
really real,
It's
and
almost
it's
like
cool.
a play to The Big Short when they like take
Yeah,
random
yeah,
cameos.
exactly.
exactly.
But
It
a
is
quick
like
thing,
that,
quick
but
thing I
it's
want
the
to say
actual
that
real
I just thought
people,
was
yeah.
like so. I just thought it was like so well done. Like having that little addition is that it was like in the movie where like the two main guys are just eating dinner, and at one of the friends' house, and straight up the mom just came up to the dad was like, yeah, like, you know, we're gonna get a divorce, and then it's like the character and he's like going like this, he's like about to eat his food because he's like so surprised, and then it just cuts to like the actual guy like explaining the story, and he's like going like that, like he's
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
explaining
really?
the story.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so well
That's
done. Like,
sick.
but
just-
it
it's
just
cool.
it
It's
makes
kinda
you
cool.
like actually like sympathize and connect with the real
Yeah.
people.
It does though, yeah, and that's
So
that's
they usually don't. Yeah, it's a really
and
cool
that's-
idea.
yeah.
Actually.
But anyway, yeah, those are my
Yeah,
three
those are
you
bugbears.
yours.
wanted to say Boy Erased as well, didn't you?
Yeah, well, there's a lot, but I just want
Just
to
an
keep it to
honorable
the-
mention.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to
just a
three.
good
Yeah.
one around.
You guys go.
Can
Yeah.
I go quickly?
Yeah, you go quick.
yeah, go Jack.
I don't really have a few as Parker. I haven't seen all the movies. I still want to see 8th Grade. I still want to see Roma. I still want to see obviously American Animals like we just talked about. But I'll shout out First Man. Thought that movie was dope. Thought that was crazy film.
The
Damien
Gauze.
Chappelle. That's his name, right?
Damien
Yeah.
Chappelle.
Damien
Damien
Chazelle.
Chazelle. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, you're thinking
Dave
Giselle.
Chappelle.
Dave Chappelle.
But it's Damien Chazelle, right?
Yeah.
Damien Chazelle, yeah.
My bad. But anyways, that was a great movie. I love his other movies as well, like
The score,
Whiplash
sorry,
and
the
La
score
La
was
Land
very
are
good.
fantastic movies. Whiplash might be a perfect movie, but anyways, First Man was cool. we all
I knew that was gonna come out.
we all love we all love Ryan Gosling. Yeah, I love that movie. And
The
it was a little
Gauze.
slow, but it was
Gauze.
really
Yeah,
well
Ryan
filmed, so
Gosling's
it was really
the
cool.
fucking guy.
Do you want to say shout any?
Can I shout out one more actually, just
Yeah.
quick?
Yeah,
Not
sure.
the whole movie, but we did talk about this before. It was Beautiful Boy. Timothy, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
fantastic in that movie.
Yeah.
I actually really enjoyed it. I watched it with my parents, and now they're afraid that I'm going to become a meth addict. So,
That's
kinda cool.
Inevitable.
Kind of
That's
sad.
dark.
but that was my other one. I just thought that Timothy was really good in that. Also, like
We all
filmed,
like
filmed
Timothy
very
Chalamet a
well.
lot
Yeah,
too. He's gonna have a
You
huge
can't-
couple next year. So
yeah, filmed very well.
Dune,
too.
we're all excited for Dune. Let's just say that
Yeah,
right now.
Dune is gonna
Dune's gonna be
change
legendary.
But
fucking
man,
cinema.
fucking
Fucking Denis
Denis
Villeneuve is gonna be
will get-
crazy.
he's
Oh, it's gonna be
fucking below
nuts.
because of that. Because 2049 Blade Runner definitely
Yeah.
put him on the map.
Oh,
but-
exactly.
But
yeah.
still, box office, nothing.
gonna
No
be-
one saw the movie.
Okay, Dan.
Yeah,
Okay,
true.
Dan,
Okay.
you go.
Okay, just looking at my list right now. One of the movies that actually stood out to me so much is the movie called Blind Spotting.
Oh yeah, I was
yeah.
gonna watch
Yeah,
that.
Emmett
and
and
I
I
never got
saw
the
that dude,
chance.
and that is just like, it's literally two guys, and they're actually they're artists. Like they make music, and they wrote and I don't know if they directed the movie, but they wrote this movie, And
Really?
it's just like kind of like a buddy comedy, but it's like there are so many like very powerful like themes like involved with like
like racial oppression.
racial
Yeah.
oppression
Yeah.
and dealing with
Which I kind of feel like
with,
is a huge theme in
yeah,
film right
you know
now.
like
but which is good.
not
Yeah,
like really like
exactly.
It's not a
Black
bad
Lives
thing.
Matter stuff, but like it's to do with like the shootings with the police and stuff like
That's
that.
like
Black
police,
of
like
Paris.
kind of
like
police brutality, type
yeah, and stuff like that. And there's like a lot of powerful scenes, but man, like they implemented like hip hop, like rapping into the dialogue, and it was just like insane.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like
Yeah.
whoa.
Sounds original.
It is very
dude,
original, but
flourishes with originality.
but the
like,
story
it's
flows-
ridiculous.
Flourishes with
originality.
dude, the
Yeah.
story is like the
I said that on
camera
my
work,
Letterboxd
beautiful. Like it is such
That's where I
a.
got it from.
I think it's in like San Francisco or something, but you get a really nice look at the
Yeah.
city
Did
and
you want to
stuff.
shout out Can You Ever Forgive Me?
I'm gonna shout out this movie. Can You Ever Forgive Me? I saw this a couple nights ago. This is the one where Melissa McCarthy got nominated and Richard E. Grant got
okay.
nominated too. So
Yeah.
both
Another one that I
main
haven't
actress
seen,
and
but
supporting
should probably
actor.
watch.
Yep.
Yeah.
Literally, it's a biopic. It was an awesome movie. I honestly thought the characters
Is
were
it
just
biopic or biopic?
biopic.
I think
Okay.
biopic. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but
That's a good question.
Sorry.
Biopic.
I don't
That's-
know.
I
Anyways, do you
I think
wanna
you're thinking
roll it up?
Bionicles.
I'll tell you very quickly, but yeah, it's just based off Melissa
That's the
McCarthy's character.
tagline from
Her name's-
Bionicles. It's like
the
It's a
character
true
she
story,
plays
right?
is- It is
Bionicles
true
are?
story.
yeah, they're like the Lego
Yeah,
like
yeah.
robot
Yeah,
things.
multiple comments.
Yeah.
multiple
It
conversations
was a
going.
joke. It didn't
But
work.
Lee Israel was a known like author.
For like her lies or whatever, right?
Well, no, she was like a big kind of like a decent author at the time, but then she was kind of becoming a little bit washed up. Like she was getting older, and she like apparently like just in the movie you
Lost
can tell
her credibility.
she lost her credibility, but she's just not really like a nice person. Like she's
yeah.
like she's very rude, and she's just like
It's kind
not
of crazy that Melissa McCarthy got nominated for an
yeah,
Oscar.
but she's just not a likable person. But then you kind of see like that you kind of understand that she's just like very alone. Like the
Yeah.
movie is all about loneliness, man. And it honestly it struck me
I am so lonely.
a lot. But like the movie's about loneliness and kind of how like dealing with it and stuff like that. But yeah, the acting is unreal. Like it's so funny. Like the back and forth dialogue with Melissa McCarthy and Richard E. Grant, like it's like her gay friend because he's gay in the movie, so it's like her gay buddy, and it's just like it's
her gay old pal.
yeah, her gay pal, but I don't know, that's weird.
Okay.
But it's hilarious. But dude, there are some scenes where like the ending scene where they like they see each other after like all the criminal actions. I didn't really explain what happens, but she forges letters.
I mean, we don't really have time for that.
Yeah,
but
she forges letters, and yeah, okay. But anyway,
So-
she
Yeah,
does
looks
she does
good.
she does criminal stuff, and then yeah, near the end it just gets pretty dramatic and like pretty emotional. But yeah, it was a good movie.
Word.
And yeah, I don't know. Another movie I liked is also Mandy with Nicolas Cage.
Oh, is that the one?
I still
like
think
the
you got it,
screen grab
Nicolas
is with the
Cage.
blood all over his
Yeah,
face.
it is.
You think he's graduated
So
from National
intense.
Treasure?
Yes, I
Still
think
waiting for
that-
National Treasure 3. I'm gonna be honest.
Dude,
They led-
Mandy
They
is
led
fucked,
National
man.
Treasure
I
2.
just
They
gotta
led
say,
into
you
a
gotta
third
see.
movie, and I'm still pissed that there isn't one. My 14. I don't know when I was how old ever I was when I watched that.
11-ish.
11. I'm still gonna be pissed if they never come out with a National Treasure 3.
Yeah.
Also, quick side note: did you see that there's a new Indiana Jones coming out in 2021?
Didn't see that.
I did not.
Thought
see
Harrison
that.
Ford
Harrison
was dead.
Ford.
Fuck.
Huh?
But
Okay. Is that? Are we done now?
think so.
You're done,
Mic
Jack.
drop.
Do you want to send us off?
Once again, thank you for listening. I'm Jack.
I'm done.
Emmett.
Parker.
Peace.
This is episode 2.
Thanks, guys.